seldom drove it.
Yeah.
You had to push it back in the garage. You wanted to have 4-stall garages, 2 in front, 2 in the back. So you had to move every car and everything out there.
Okay.
The battery was always dead, you know, so I had to get service. Get rid of it.
Let it go.
You still curse me for that. When you sure that they produce what do you get? Sitting in the back rusting, you know?
Honey, call me. Yes, I am started yet.
Put them around in the circle or something, so they're closer at a state park where mine goes this way and goes way over back again. Bring them backwards.
Public comment or take
Why don't you keep him on hold and but you don't want me to transfer names, right?
Can we call him in about 10 minutes or so?
I don't care, I can do whatever you want, I'm just asking you, so.
Yeah, we'll give him a call in about 10 minutes.
Okay, I'll get his phone number and bring it. Okay.
Thank you, Christie, yeah.
You calling in?
I don't
Who's
know.
calling in?
Ken Carl, Smith's Landing, the road 4 going down the way. It's one path been talking about.
Oh,
We're gonna try it once.
pretty rough shape.
Dennis?
That's, they put in all in camping spots. I went by this weekend.
Yeah, you can do the same with the other ones.
Where are they on 4? Smith's Landing?
It's
109?
109, but it's 4 going down to,
Okay,
yeah, it's right off 109.
yeah. But they're doing that all over, aren't they, putting those little ads in and renting them out for the season?
They put 50 some in last year and 30 more this year and they're full.
When that one on Lake Travis there, they had 100, they did it again, and they get, the ones that are just out there hanging in the middle, they get $25 a year for, and then they wooded areas and stuff, it's much nicer, they get those.
Okay, here's his phone number.
Down on Harvard.
Yeah, it's better than selling off the lots over there.
I've got these.
Okay, then,
16 stands with these big white
that
targets.
bar or whatever, whatever it is, now, they got camping spots.
LTR, yeah, and they're adding more this year too.
Walk so far and then shoot at.
They had maybe what,
True, Wendy
20?
said it was just full.
Oh yeah, they're full all the time. They're full all the time. He's not here. He's.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
Enter, call to order.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Any additions or corrections to the minutes of our previous meeting? I got nothing.
I have a question. When we came out of executive session and we're talking about the deputy wages, maintain our law enforcement and COVID reimbursement funds,
Yeah.
what was the purpose of that? I mean,
You guys talked
That
about
was
the
part of our
Some
justification.
of the money was from out of there.
use COVID funds.
Yeah.
Well, we certainly can off last year's.
Yes,
Yeah.
okay, all right,
The-
that's all I was questioning.
Kind of help support the budget.
Okay,
Along that line, I know it's in here that they are giving up that, their longevity payment. Should that be written down someplace else, like in Christie's file or something like that, so?
That'll be in our payroll though.
Okay, because I know like a couple years from now, somebody will go back and say, hey, how come the deputies aren't getting?
No.
So, okay,
Yeah,
it'll be covered someplace, good, all right.
yeah.
and do we know it was their suggestion, not something that we wanted to do?
Tyler brought that in.
Yeah,
Okay.
they proposed
You
that.
want me to,
Just
just
a
kind
note,
of,
with,
okay.
you know, yeah,
Very
either in the
good
minutes
idea.
or with
Very
your
good
payroll
idea.
book.
Yeah.
They'll come
Yeah,
back.
it's not that we wanted to take it away from them,
They offered.
they offered. That's all I had.
Is there a motion to approve the minutes in today's agenda?
So moved.
Johnson, second by Carlson. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Motion carries. Public comment. How are you there?
Not bad.
Good.
Jeff Baker with Assistant Fire Department. I guess I kind of volunteered for the position to do this, so, representing all the fire departments and the 2 ambulance services in Roberts County. In the past, we've had a service out of Millbank Communications Millbank, that where we could get our pages on our phone. There's certain spots in the county where our pagers don't necessarily reach, and some of the departments guys aren't getting the pages on their pager, but they can get anywhere you can get cell service, you can get on our phone. We received a letter a couple months ago that Millbank Communications is closing. That's an RC Technology subsidiary or whatever, but they're closing, so that service is no longer available to the fire departments. A year ago, back in July, we were having problems, Assistant Fire Department, we were having problems with Millbank getting to work on phones. Sometimes it did it, sometimes it didn't. So we, Assistant Fire Department, quit using Millbank Communications and went to an app on our phone that's called e-Dispatches. It's a company that, it's a nationwide service that provides that service, and we really liked it. So when Millbank decided to end their services, the other fire departments in Roberts County contacted me and asked what we were using, and if I could explain that to them. So we had a meeting with all the fire chiefs here in town, and I showed them the app that I had, the program that we had, that we've been using. They all said they liked it, so I did some checking with e-Dispatches. And currently now, Assistant Fire Department pays $80 a month for that service. Plus we paid for the 2 pieces of equipment that comes with that service, and then at the end of the time we're done with that, we send that equipment back and we get reimbursed. So that's their equipment, so if anything goes wrong with it, they fix it. So checking with e-Dispatches, if we put all 7 fire departments and both ambulance services that are in Roberts County, that bill would come to $230 a month, or a month, excuse me, for a total of $2,760 a year. After we put this service in and started doing some checking, we found out that Marshall County, a lot of departments in Marshall County have it, Traverse County has it. Grant County is using, they're going to go with a different system, but from my information, I know Traverse County and both Grant County, they pay for their fire department's portion of this service. So I guess that's what we're up here asking you guys today, if that's something you guys would be willing to help the fire departments and the ambulance services out with that service. Right now, the bill, I think, to try to minimize all the work for Dawn and that, if that's something you guys would be willing to do with. I would be the administrator of the deal. I would collect the money from all the fire departments. You can pay either a 6-month or a yearly contract. There is no contract to sign, so at 3 months we decide we don't like the service no more, we can quit and we get all our money back. So there is no contract we got to sign for 1 year, 2 years, 5 years, or whatever. So I guess I would collect the money from the other fire departments, we would pay the bill, I would turn the bill into you guys, to Dawn, and she would only have to write 1 check back to us. So that way she's not trying to collect all the money from the other fire departments and everything.
The other fire departments are gonna get them from the individual cities that they,
Well,
or where are they gonna get their money from then?
I guess depending on, I don't know how their budgets all work, now whether they're gonna take some of that money out of their fundraisers, or if they're, as far as I know, Sisseton is the only city-owned fire department. Everybody else is, you know, Clear City's a fire district, same with Wilmot, Rossall, and none of them are city-owned, as far as I know. So where they get their, so by doing this, we take that $230 a month and split that between the 9 agents, or 8 agencies, that'll make their portion $30 a month. Would make their portion $30 a month. So I guess that's something that we would pay, it's because we want it, but we were just asking if you guys would be willing to to pay that $2,700, so that wouldn't come out of the city or fire department's budget. There is, plus there is for an initial $200 install or one-time installment fee. So your first bill would roughly come to $2,900. So if that's something that you guys would be willing to do to help us out, or we would even pay the $200 for the initial fees. So.
So are we just a go-between then, or I'm confused here?
So, yeah, I guess if you would help us pay that money, so when 6 months comes, I'll collect. When 6 months comes, I guess I wouldn't have to collect any money. I would pay the bill, excuse me, let me go back, yeah. Because we started out to where they would pay me the $30 every 6 months and then I would pay the bill. But without that, I will pay the bill, the $27.60, and then you guys just reimburse me back. Does that make sense now?
Is that something that, couldn't you save a step and if the commissioners are in agreement and just run it
Send the
through
bill
the
to us.
county rather than you, or is there some kind of?
I guess I don't know how that would work. I guess we could look at it that way and just make, so I thought it would be easier to do it that way because then I would be in charge of the system.
Okay.
You know, so if something happens, I don't have to come to you to have you
Yeah, okay.
fix this, or if somebody changes their name, changes the phone, I can go into the system as the administrator
Oh,
and
sure.
change the phone numbers. So if you get a new firefighter on, we need their phone number and their cell phone providers, whether it's Verizon, Straight Talk. I go into their system, type in their name, their phone number, Verizon system, which agency they're from.
Yeah,
So they
okay.
get that page and then that's,
Now I'm following you.
yeah, so that's the administrator part of it. So I think it'd be easier for,
Yeah,
try to make it less confusing for you guys, for me to come up here and then have you guys do all that work. So-
I agree.
So yeah, going back to where, sorry, we thought that's what we were gonna do, is have each part payment pay us, we'll pay the bill. But if you guys would be willing to pay that $27.60, then the fire department's ambulance service wouldn't have to pay anything.
Jeff, a couple questions that I have is that, how many entities would benefit? Did you say initially it was 7 fire departments or 6?
There's 7 fire departments, there's.
And 2 ambulance services?
Right, right.
So we got 9 total.
Right,
All
there's
right.
New Eppington, Northeast Ambulance only has 4 people that run Northeast Ambulance.
Yeah.
So they're gonna combine with the Ross Salt Fire Department. So we're only looking at 8 agencies, 7 fire departments. There'd be Clear City, New Eppington, Ross Salt, Sisseton,
I have to
Summit,
remember to
Wilmot,
bring
and
shoes. I
Corona,
got
and then Grand Rapids
infection in my
Ambulance
eye.
here in town.
was, did you understand that
Northeast
fire
Ambulance would kind of fall
or
into
that
Ross Salt.
With Ross Salt Fire?
package?
Oh, okay.
I haven't looked at it too much because we have till July 1st to get that figured out.
Currently,
Okay, so
we've got everybody online
talk
who's
about
in
that,
this.
yeah.
This is a 30-day free period to work with. So we've got
I just got this
196
this morning. I can give it to him.
firefighters,
that.
EMTs.
Give a copy to the
system
commissioners.
right now. So
I will.
it's 196.
186.
That's how many first responders, EMTs, firefighters that are in Roberts County right now.
Would this eliminate the 6 o'clock page that our dispatch does every night?
Yes.
That would go away?
Yep, they would know, because it wouldn't come over the radios anymore, it would just come over our cell phones. Well, I take that back, it would, because that's still the way we test our pagers, so there's still gonna be a 6 o'clock test.
Also, so you've got 2 ways to be notified then.
Right, we still have our pagers, but there's certain,
Sometimes they don't work.
sometimes if I'm up at Seachy Hollow or whatever, sometimes it don't work, or sometimes you get between Wilmot and Corona.
Pat was gonna put up a new something in the air. Would that cover the pagers? Pat Stickland talked about putting something like that up? I thought that was fire related. Or was that just county
Yeah, I guess I don't-
radios or 911 or something? But remember we talked about that?
Yeah.
You're gonna put up years, for lack of a better term, I don't know what you call it, but,
Just to get another channel or something,
Yeah.
wasn't it, to separate the highway from these others?
yeah, because some of the signals were being phased out or something like that. Maybe that doesn't affect you guys at all, I don't know.
No, that would be
That's
mostly.
just so the highway won't involve them
Yeah,
guys.
so the highway wouldn't
Oh,
be
so we're
on.
stepping on each other's
Right.
communications, okay,
Right.
you're right.
So if there's a major fire going on or a major emergency and then we're walking on each other, because they're using
Yeah.
Roberts County OEM channel. So I guess,
Does the company have a written brochure or some material that they could send to Dawn that could be shared by us? That I know you've given a good breakdown of what, but do they have something that a
I
person
guess,
could read through?
Information sheet,
I
anyway.
can print something off the internet, I guess. I guess that's where I found it.
Oh,
I found this service through, it's a magazine that I get, it's Firehouse Magazine, and that was an advertisement that I had seen, so I contacted them, like I said, back to last July. So everything that I've done is over the internet, so but I could see if they've got something or print something off the internet and bring it to you guys.
okay. Or just forward the link
Okay,
to Dawn, would be okay.
sure.
So there's actually two options on the table. Am I understanding this right, that the county absorbs the $2,700 a year? Or the second option is we pay it and the fire departments pay us? Is that what I'm understanding?
Well, that, or I guess if we,
Ideally, you're looking for the county to pick up the whole.
correct,
Okay, all right. Okay.
And a second option would be something less than that.
correct. I mean, that's where, like, I guess where I was trying to go to is $30. It would cost each fire department $30 a month, which, the last couple of years has been kind of tough. We've all lost our fundraisers. You know, we've lost all our fundraisers. This year we are going to have our street dance. We've lost our fish fry for the last 2 years, our turkey bingo. And I know the other fire departments have lost their fundraisers too, so
Okay.
just to help out our budget. I know you guys' budget is tight too, everybody's is, but I guess I thought is that since it's benefiting all of Roberts County and not just one fire department or two fire departments, it's benefiting the whole county, so I guess that's what I'd be asking is for the county to pay that $2,760.
Wonder if we could put it under our 911 budget. You know, slip it
I
in
don't know if
there.
that would be, oh, Dawn's gone, if that would be an eligible activity or not. I'd just soon have Tom in on the conversation and be able to present while he's here. And this is good timing because we're in a budget preparation cycle right now.
You know, I get there again, so if it, I don't know how your guys' budget is sitting or whatever, but if it's something that's maybe not possible right away, you know, since your budgets are tight, and I know we're coming in at maybe at the end of your fiscal year or whatever, but if it's something that we could, the fire departments pay for the first 6 months and then to get into your guys' budget system, and then from there on, you guys take over. I guess that's something that we could work out with you guys.
So you said you're using it right now?
We have.
Yeah.
We've been using it since last July. And,
Yeah.
we really like this system. Just, I don't know, just give you a little background, it makes no difference to you guys, but once the app goes off on my phone, it does bring up Google's Maps. So if the dispatch puts in the address, it'll come up on my phone where it'll show me how to get to that residence. If Google Maps is always perfect, if it's not. But that's a tool that works in the app. The other tool that's in the app that I like as the fire chief is once that tone goes off in your phone, there's a spot that you can hit respond. It's either go into the fire station, go into the fire, or unable to respond. Some departments, their officers carry their bunker gear and they go right to the fire. None of us in Roberts County are that way. We all respond to the fire. So our policy is at the Sisseton Fire Department is if they're not able to come, they hit that do not respond. So then by the time I get down to the fire hall, I can bring that app up and I can see who's not coming.
Mhm.
So if I see it's a house fire and I've got 12 guys, you know, it's a middle of the afternoon, everybody's working, they're out of town, I got 12 guys that I know aren't coming, that only leaves me 7 guys, then I know right away I need to call for mutual aid.
Mhm.
Or if I got a big grass fire, I know I need to call for mutual aid. If I look at my phone and I got 19 guys coming, then I know I'm good for that first initial call until I make mutual
Good
aid.
feature, yeah.
So it's, for myself, that's a good app that works great for me. So how the other fire departments use that portion of that app, that's totally up to them. It gets kind of in-depth if they if they hit the deal that they're going to the scene. It'll come up on the phone and it'll show everybody where everybody's at as they're responding, but that's too confusing. That's an app, part of it we don't use, but it's a real nice feature, so.
I just say, to me, it sounds like a worthwhile app. I would support it. I think if we just got a little more time to think about it, we'd probably be all right with it.
Absolutely.
I
Like
think
I
it sounds like
said,
a great app.
we're gonna be out of our 30-day free trial here, or those guys are. We've still got a year left on our contract, but then we're gonna roll our contract. They'll give us our money back, Citizen Fire Department, and then we'll be in this system. So, if it doesn't work for you guys right at the moment, we can pay for that first 6 months, get it into your budget to where you guys can budget that money and go from there. Just let me know, or if you need me to come back, I can sure do that. I'll try to forward some information to Don and keep in touch with her with some information.
Do you have more questions for him?
Okay.
Okay.
Well, I appreciate your
Thanks.
time and your effort
Appreciate you
in
coming in.
listening to us, and all the support you guys do for the fire departments and the EMS service, so.
We're on a calendar of your budget, January to December,
Okay.
just, but
Okay.
that doesn't mean you can't do something
Sure.
before, we're on the great.
Appreciate all you guys do as well.
Okay.
Thank you.
Well, thank you very much. You guys have a good day.
You too. Good morning.
Good
morning.
How was everybody Memorial Day weekend?
Good.
Good.
No one wait to see the judge. Well, he's in this room.
Are you sure?
Well, I don't know. Tim's always questionable.
I sent the draft portions of the ordinances out to Dawn last week. She said she forwarded them on to you guys. If you have any questions or concerns about any sections of them, shoot me an email, give me a call, stop over and see me. That's what I plan on working with next week for the formal first reading and stuff.
Good.
The application fee in there is based pretty closely on what we charge for liquor licenses. It's a little bit more than we charge for liquor licenses, given the nature of the item, but I didn't feel comfortable going any higher than that. The way that the law is written is a reasonable fee, and
Yeah.
that seemed reasonable to me, and then the penalty for violating what's authorized under statute for a violation of a county ordinance.
The only question I had was the fee, and I was curious where you came up with that figure, comparable to other counties or whatever, so.
Well,
But you said you based it on.
yeah, so it's just a little bit more than what the liquor license fee is here. This is actually a model ordinance that I got from both of them. From the Butte County State's Attorney. She's the one that's kind of been taking the lead as far as the State's Attorneys Association is concerned on putting this kind of stuff together. Her county is significant, the fee is significantly more, as I think I mentioned either last week or the week before, they had a liquor license sell for $50,000. So they're charging a lot more for this type of facility because there's that type of demand out there. Whereas here, it's going to be lower, and this is just for county land. This is not including municipalities. Assistant Wilmot Russell, they can all decide if they want one or not.
Have you heard anything with regard to that? Are there interests in the cities? Or
I know there's some interest in Sisseton in talking with Aaron. I had not had a chance to talk to Gordon about this or anything else in reference to the meeting last week because he's been in Florida for the last week, so I haven't had a chance to speak with him.
Or does this cover tribal lands, right?
Well,
We don't have
we
jurisdiction.
don't have to worry about tribal lands because marijuana is still legal federally, so they can't put anything on tribal lands even if they want.
Oh, really?
Because they're under federal control and it's still illegal federally.
Well, interesting. I didn't realize that.
So, I mean, they can try, they'll have to fight with the feds about it.
Like that land.
Right, like what happened at Flanders a couple years ago.
I mean, they had everything growing and everything, were about ready to pull the trigger, and then they decided against it. Yeah. No, I thought it looked good. I mean, I suspect there's gonna be changes, pretty fluid situation until this finally gets,
Right, because
the information comes out in October.
the temporary one, the main purpose of that one is that if anybody tries to apply before the rules have been promulgated by the Department of Health by the end of October, we say no. And then the other one is the regulatory scheme for the county once the rules have been promulgated and people can actually apply for the licensing. I just want to have them both in place by July 1, so we're not, in case for some reason the department comes out with the rules faster than the end of October,
Okay.
we have something in place.
Sure, no, that makes sense.
And I do have a draft resolution that I haven't tweaked too much as far as recreational marijuana goes, but I'm waiting to pull the trigger until I hear a little bit more on what the situation with that is. I'm sure I'll know whether or not we need to get something in place before an actual opinion comes out, because lawyers like to talk. So probably know when an opinion will be coming. As for right now, I haven't done anything with that, but I will in the future if it looks like that's gonna hold up.
Okay.
Don't think I have anything else this morning. You don't have anything for me?
Only thing I want to mention is I was approached, and I tried to say something about mental health commitment, is an issue. Right now, we have Gordon Nielsen and Aaron Cameron, two commitments, and our, telemedicine thing really works with a Vera, but sometimes you get where you actually have to pay a person. They weren't available. And it was suggested maybe we need to look at a third person. Because Gordon was in Florida and Aaron wasn't available.
Yeah, and I believe they're the chair and the vice chair of the mental health board, correct?
Yeah, because we didn't have an active mental health board,
Right.
so maybe we want to think about adding that third person.
And that's up to you. I don't know how often it comes up that they're both.
It used to be a lot, but like I said, since it's telemedicine, it
Well-
really weeds out.
Right.
But now during the summer, it is an issue, because Aaron's down at Lake there, and Gordon's at his place, and I think more during the summer. It'd be nice to have that third person.
Yeah, and I don't know who it could be or should be. I don't know if it needs to be an attorney or not. I don't think it can be me.
No, but perhaps,
Is there a statute that covers that? Is there?
There is, but I haven't looked at it.
If you do
something we
that
want to
for
be
us, that would
If we
pursuing,
just ran it
perhaps.
by Gordy or Aaron, they would have an idea because they're on the board, they should have some idea how it might run, but.
Or maybe previous state's attorney or something.
Well, sure, yeah, I mean. yeah.
She's always in town. I'm just saying, we need to look at it.
Yeah, okay.
You know.
I'll double check that portion of the code book. I don't remember where it's located at, but I'll try to find it before next week. I know Gordon should be back either today or tomorrow, so we should be good until at least next week. I got a call from the hospital on Friday about
Yeah,
that
and
too.
that same thing.
I tried to get hold of Aaron and no luck. Morning. Anything else from this morning?
Just a heads up, you had conversations last week, or you brought it to the meeting last week with Timber Ridge guys, and I guess what we decided is that Toby said that he would volunteer to write the final document, if you will, to get out of that whole deal. So I think Dawn was gonna tell him to go ahead and do that, and then that we would run that by you
Okay.
to see if you had any objections to anything, and then if it all looked good, out the door they go. Yeah.
Okay.
So I assume that, as soon as she got a hold of them, but that should be coming in the next week or two, I guess.
Okay. Yeah, I'll take a look at it. Go from there. And then if we do a tip again, please be a little bit more specific on how it's written.
That was absolutely terrible. And that's why it makes me a little nervous, for having the person that did that tip, right, are
Yeah.
out. I don't know.
But it's best just to wash our hands, but learn a lesson, and not, we were all involved in it, but I think going forward, it would be a different scenario than what transpired there.
All righty, well, I got a long day at work,
All right.
so.
Thanks, Dylan.
Thanks a million.
Thank you.
We've got a gentleman that wants to talk to us. Oh, can you dial that in, or?
Let's see.
Do you have any what this is about or whatever?
Bad
or-
road. Do you want to wait for Pat to be here?
That would be all right, but I think we told him
We
we'd call him
10
back.
minutes or whatever, Pat will know.
All right.
So what is the deal?
It's the county road going down to the lake that busted up real bad, and I'm sure he's just gonna tell us about it. He called
Is it blacktop?
Blacktop.
Yeah.
He called after I'd left, and Kathy talked to him, he told him to call, she told him to call up here or whatever.
My guess there's been a ton of heavy equipment down that road there. They put in 50 campsites, you said?
Yeah, and 30 more this year, so.
So the road beat the crap by Schmidt's Landing, you said?
So if they were doing hauling, or shouldn't they have had a permit or something, or, I mean, if one person caused all this trouble?
I don't know, you know, I know Pat's been down there, so maybe, I guess when Pat comes up, I guess we can listen to this guy, tell Pat about it.
Call him back. if
He'll
we have
know,
to.
I mean, he goes
Okay.
down there or whatever.
He's already called back once already.
All right, so we, do we, one?
I'm assuming.
Ken Carls?
Hello, Ken Carl's here.
Hi, Ken. This is the Roberts County Commission returning your call.
Okay, great. Well, thank you.
Sure.
Thank you very much. Yeah, the reason for the call, I called Kim's place, your wife called back, appreciate that. But I live down by Smith's Landing. There's actually president of an association. There's like 15 homes along the road there as you go into Smith's and turn, take a left there. But our concern is the road there, and just checking to see what the plans is to either redo it or fix the road there. And I would say that I was looking down there this weekend, and there's a lot of people down there now because of the what Schmitz has done with the camper parking spots, which is great. But there's a lot of kids riding or walking on that road, and people are swerving as they're missing potholes and some of those things too. And so maybe there's plans to fix that. I just checking to see if there is any, and what the plans are, and what can be done to fix the road and improve the safety there a little bit.
Sure.
I think it's what is it, County Road 33, I think it is.
Is that the right number?
109.
I think it's 4, isn't it?
I'm not sure. It's
You think it's 4?
Off 109 though.
Off
Okay.
109 there.
Okay, well, our highway superintendent will know that. When he comes in, he gives us a weekly report. He'll be in at 10 o'clock is what he's scheduled for. And I know I can tell you one thing is that the asphalt plant was kind of slow to start up this spring. And our road crew has been actively doing some patching, Ken, so we'll need to check with Pat to see where it's at on the schedule to get down there and patch the potholes.
No, go ahead. I'm sorry.
No, we'll see what the schedule is for him and his crew to get down there to patch up the potholes.
Yeah, I guess the bigger question is, I know every year it seems like they patch it and then they last for, not even sometimes through the next spring on it. Is there ever talk of redoing it or building it up or getting it so it's more stable and doesn't tear apart so quickly?
Okay. I guess that would be called an overlay, where they do a complete new overlay of asphalt, and I'm not sure where that's at on the rotation. And another question that we're gonna have for Pat, if there was, you know, any way to have somebody responsible actually for the breakup if there was a bunch of heavy truck traffic on there during the development. So that's a question that I would have for our highway superintendent.
Yeah, I think most of the homes have been built for, I don't think the new home's gone up there for quite a few years.
Oh, but for the development of the campground, was there?
Pardon?
For the development of the campground, was there heavy equipment?
You know what? I don't know. I wasn't around when I saw that. There could have been some, but you know, I've lived out there about 12 years, and
Okay.
there hasn't really been that much building. And it seems like every year it breaks up and they go patch it. But your highway superintendent would know that better than I would too, what they've had to do with it. So.
Sure.
But you like I said, I just saw kids ride bikes and people walking, and then it seems like every, you know, going to the wrong side of the road to miss a pothole, and it's just really dangerous. So.
Okay. Well, we'll sure take that up with Pat when he's in here. Other than
And
anything
as far as finding out kind of what he decides to do, how would I hear of that, or?
Do you want to have Pat give you a call, or
Yeah,
we can call back, or?
yeah, Pat, either Pat or Tim, I suppose.
Yeah, I can either give you a call, or Pat can give you a call, Ken, let you know what's up.
Okay, that'd be great. Well, really appreciate it. Thank you guys for considering it, and hopefully we can get something done to improve the safety. So, thank you.
Appreciate you.
Thanks for
Yeah.
calling.
Thanks, Ken.
Okay, you bet. Bye now.
Yep, bye. Well, let's figure out what road that is.
Shut it off.
You don't have to dial 9 to get an outside line with that, you just hit the,
Is that what
was
it
that,
is?
I don't know, I've never.
I don't
used
know
it.
either. Would you want to call?
No,
Oh.
I was just wondering how you got your dial tone.
Yeah, I just,
Just
this,
that
that
one?
goes to dial tone, so I guess,
Okay, and then dial from
yeah,
there. Okay.
yes.
All right. Sounds good. What ship are we talking?
Right there.
Down in the corner, Lockwood, huh? Okay.
Go down past Louis Volk's.
Oh, Louis Volk's, that's,
That's the one.
that's the road,
Just
okay.
figure out which county road it is.
Okay,
Mine says 33, says 4.
I just gotta bring up one thing so don't forget. Leland called and he's got a pump, sprayer pump for one of the sprayer trucks that's gone bad in the motor. Called and wanna know if he can get a new one, the pump and everything. The whole works is $1,800. He just wanna know to do the whole, sometimes he can put a kit in the pump, but this motor's using oil, he said, so.
Oh, it's a gas engine that drives?
Bill Honda gas engine.
Oh, okay.
So this would do the whole works. One whole
Use the heck out of it, I would guess.
How many horsepower is that?
4, 5,
That's all?
this, you know, it's a sprayer, runs all
Yeah.
frickin' day, but,
The pump
He
must be
called.
1,500.
yeah, that's what I thought it was, but it's gear driven down
Uh-huh.
too, so. He said the whole works, he thought it might be a little bit less, but he said just by saw him in the book, but he thought if he bought the whole works it'd be a little bit cheaper. But he said ask for 1,800 for fuel ball. I did.
Yeah, he's gonna need it, but geez, that seems like a lot for a
That's what I thought it was.
5 horsepower setup.
I suppose it'd have to be a special pump because it's dealing with chemicals, you just can't be a regular old, probably gotta have some fancy
He said he has.
big buck plastic in there or something to keep it from corroding.
Put kits in, but this motor's bad and the gears are bad, that, not that I'd have to look at it.
Is he getting a price from like Keller out here or something? Or is he
He's off in that spray place or whatever, Keller's ain't got the pumps, I guess.
Oh, you gotta buy the whole package.
Just,
Well, he's gonna have to have it. so-
That's what I thought,
Yeah,
we need
I
one
guess-
much.
Just a matter of, can you buy it cheaper anyplace else?
Yeah.
Is that the kind of thing where, what's that place up in Fargo, used to be Northern
That's where they-
Hydraulics, is that?
Yeah, I know they get stuff out of there, but I couldn't tell you. I know he has gotten kits for them, because of where the kits are, he eats the rubbers up in them, is what.
Yeah. You just, ask him to check around a little bit price wise, and, yeah, I guess we need a dentist, you gotta have it, you gotta.
Check around, or he's gotta have one. Know that, weirdo kind of dentist. Check around and see what he can come up with.
I would call Keller to see if he can get a small engine from him, being he's a local guy. But if he can't, he can't.
But then it's okay for him to go ahead
Yeah.
and get one after the start
Yeah,
around.
he should. Yeah, he should. I don't know what county road number that is over there.
I'm sure that's four that goes past Louisville.
Bolts.
I just took mine.
Who lives on Louis now, Jim? Who lives on Louis now?
You know, I think his daughter or daughter-in-law or whatever, they live there, but I don't think they live there.
Oh, just, okay.
On the wall there, is that any better? Oh, yeah, I think that's the one.
Oh, okay. On Oregon?
Yeah, it would be County Road 4.
It would be.
Would be.
That's what I thought it was.
Right here.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
Let's circulate this, put this in the record.
This court reporter can determine that this is.
Nothing.
nothing
Nah.
but flowers. I have a look at that.
Then got
I thought
dismissed.
there was a limit on that stuff.
We're gonna fine tune this in 2 minutes because it,
Okay. So which one is that one?
is this more than usual? I didn't think,
192 to Dakota Waste
is that on my one?
for pickup at the detention
Or
center.
did that change? It just seemed, I don't know why, I thought it was less than. Huh? Unless they raised their rates or something, or.
Well, that could be tit for tat.
Yeah.
The other one was, that we had there that I sent you, that was 95, but
We won't be doing those abatements today, because I asked some questions for Sherry on it,
Okay.
and, because it's regarding property from the assessors.
Those look at when you get a chance.
You got a little stack of them?
these are all payroll.
Oh,
Little end of the month, huh?
Pam's gonna hold those.
I was just curious, I
Well,
just,
I'm gonna have her pull December,
yeah.
and then maybe like March, and see if,
quick fire, a couple of quick ones, ask you, Don.
yeah.
Uh,
fire away.
Did you happen to talk to Beazer last week about pulling together all that information to put in a letter?
I
think?
sent it out to, I emailed it.
Okay, all right.
Thursday, so.
All right.
Out there too.
And then, did you talk to Toby as well about?
I talked to Toby and he's gonna get together with Dylan
Okay.
a little bit. He thought maybe Dylan and myself and he could be on just a phone call.
Okay. Right. And then lastly, dispatch contract. I thought it was up for approval here a month or so back with the city, you know?
I haven't heard anything and I haven't.
So we're still just sending out monthly bills.
Yep, yeah.
We're like 6 months into this thing now.
We haven't got no raise.
We haven't got any raise. I mean, should we be, well, one, we know we have a 3-year contract, we have a month to month, which is, they've kind of changed that, that might just become the norm, but, I wonder if we should just be charging them the new rate. I mean, right now you got the tail wagging the dog, and I just don't think that's right. They kind of changed it to fit whatever was convenient for them, and I don't think it's in their, it's not their right to do. And I know Tyler's been kind of handling it, and the idea was they wanted to get someone else to pay a little bit towards it. Well, I think we're working towards that with these guys out over here, so I mean, I don't know why they can't approve this thing. But if they're not gonna approve it, I think we should be charging whatever the new rate that we're gonna have to charge them.
We did what they asked, we went around.
Yeah, and it's been, you know, this is the 6th month now that they have neglected to sign the contract, so just my thought, but I get kind of a feeling towards the whole thing anyhow, so.
The big question is, do they have a new contract with the new rate?
No, they never signed it.
But they have it.
Oh, they have a copy of it, sure.
They
Yeah.
have it. Okay. They have it.
Yeah, we submitted that back in December, November, something like that.
Yeah,
Sure, yeah.
and then we started charging in the monthly rate.
Terry and Jim came in.
Do you think you can ask Amber to put it on the agenda
Sure.
for their June meeting? That we'd like to have that signed?
Yeah, but in the meanwhile, I think we should charge them, well, if you want to wait another month, I guess
Well,
that's.
no, they'll be meeting here in another week.
Okay, all right.
Second, well, maybe it's the 14th, actually.
Okay. Yeah, we waited this long, I guess it is, you know, we doesn't
But
matter.
their June meeting is coming up.
Okay.
Okay.
So they did.
But you're right.
Good deal.
That's fine, exactly, it's just that.
To that
Have
end,
a gentleman's
Yeah.
agreement, so to speak, that
We did.
you do this and you do that, you
and
know.
now I think it's just
Looking,
kind of
they may be.
a month to month and no pay increase.
You're right. We didn't, so time to move on, ready to go.
Well, and to that end, now, if we got a minute to talk about it, this deal that Jeff Paper brought in, I mean, and I'm not opposed to, if we had to pay that whole bill by ourselves, I wouldn't be opposed to that. But why wouldn't the cities and the townships be contributing to that as well? Coming from a township point of view, we're paying, city assisted at $1,800 a year for a fire contract. That should come out of their money, yeah, I mean, and they get big increases every year. You know, we pay $1,000 in Browns Valley as well. I think those fire departments, through those fees, I can understand why they're struggling right now, because like you mentioned, if they had difficulty with fundraising and the likes of that, but I just think that there should be some kind of cooperative effort there, and everybody should kick in a little, maybe we kick in some as well, but I think that those kinds of things should be paid for with their fire contract with the townships and whoever else contributes.
You think that's the going rate for every township that they serve?
I think it's based on, I guess it's based on population and
On
acres.
valuation.
Oh, evaluation, okay. all right.
Because they get the evaluation from us every year. The city of Sisseton does.
And every year it goes up
I don't know about
substantially.
the other fire departments have never, or the other cities have never asked, but I know Sisseton always asks for the valuations on whatever they
Yeah,
get.
and Terry said there's a formula that they use, well, and they take advantage of it every year. I've been on for like 10 years, Browns Valley's never raised theirs once, it's been $1,000 for 10 years. Theirs goes up every single year substantially. So I mean, it just kind of, they want help from others paying the fees for dispatching, but and maybe Jeff never even approached the city to help pay for this alert sense, but I mean, I think what's good for the goose is good for the gander.
I agree. How do you say it? The guy gotta draw a line someplace because they come out your house on fire, they still get $500 for that, you know.
Yeah.
Or more, you know.
Yeah, whatever the insurance company pays, it's.
Well, it's a worthwhile app.
Well, I think it is.
Personally, you know, $30 per entity per month is
Not gonna kill them.
wouldn't, I'm surprised they're asking for assistance on it, but
So that's,
if I did go along with it, it'd be on a one-year trial basis.
You know, even if we said, well, we'll pay half of it, and left the others up to, you know, it shows.
Before I forget, the Register of Deeds report was circulated
Okay.
and reviewed, and the VSO report was circulated and reviewed.
Refresh my memory, how many hours is the nurse, our jail nurse supposed to be working?
Was it 30?
Wasn't it 30?
I think 30.
Pretty sure it was 30.
This is ridiculous, 5,067 hours.
Whoa.
Yeah. First week, 37 hours, second week, 39, almost .8, so almost 40. Fourth, third week, 38. Fourth week, 40 hours.
Well, and early on, we expected some because she was setting up policies and such, but that's been 4 or 5 months into the program now, I think, so. Set aside and talk to.
Not doing a very good job of time management.
We'll set that aside and we'll talk to Tyler about it.
I mean, Tom,
Yeah, so she's supposed to be, yeah, it's more like a full-time job. Even if they had 5,000, that's a pretty big salary, 60 grand a year. If it worked out like that every year, every month.
pretty good. Yeah.
and even overtime, 1.6, almost 2 hours. It's all put together.
Oh, okay.
I mean, I feel like being taken advantage of. And with the jailers, it's hard, I'm not even looking at these basically,
Well, short, yeah, that's what I was just looking at, administrators, he's got
that's,
some more overtime in
he's
there.
filling in.
Yeah, I'm sure, yeah, I get that. Oh, just for the record, when I called Tyler last week after our meeting and told him that about the wage increase, he was extremely appreciative, said it numerous times, apologized for getting a little bucky. But yeah, extremely appreciative of the fact that he did what he did, so. And said that he was gonna continue to work on reducing overtime. He had a conversation after he left here with the jail administrator to see what he could do to reduce hours there, and, so he's indicated he's still projected he's no overtime or extremely limited overtime, so it was all to that.
Don, do you have the contract with a court-appointed attorney handy?
How's that?
Or,
Yeah, I want to see
I
that
want to see the contract.
sections for,
I don't think it's me.
No, yeah,
Sounds like something on a kid's bicycle.
It's like,
I'm taking a break.
Oh, if you're going, I'm going too.
Don't forget to come back.
If I didn't come back, it would be because I forgot. It'd be intentional.
I guess we're in recess, Jace.
everybody's gonna use a potty. I might as well too. What is that noise?
There it goes again.
What is that noise? Is that my phone? Oh, please, I ain't doing
Snack bar all ready to go then for baseball?
The concession stand?
Yeah.
Yeah, I have a few things to do this afternoon. Yeah.
I'm on to help cook, so.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
We'll work out the bugs tonight, I mean, if there's, because it's a new layout and so forth, and,
Mm-hmm.
yeah.
Where do they get like all their hot dogs and buns and stuff from?
Rosalie's.
Rosalie's,
We
okay.
get the hot dogs, we got buns and Amherst and Rose's. The brats we get from Horns.
Good.
Yeah, that's my run this afternoon, but
Oh.
we call them.
Do they do hot dogs? I don't know if they have hot dogs on the menu too. Okay.
Did you have enough food, Faith?
Yes, yes.
How many, do you have any idea how many pounds of meat you went through?
Enough to feed supposedly 1,000 people.
Wow.
So we
Did you have a count of how many you did serve?
Well, I was in the kitchen to start with and then off and on, and I had counted the plates to start with, you know. So I would think 300 and maybe, I'm just guessing, 375 or so,
Okay. Okay. Good turnout.
you know. So, yeah.
See, Kay's doing a little bit of work for Dylan, 9 hours. Good. Yeah, no, that was well attended. That was nice.
I wish I could have been there a little longer, but I was only there for a little while.
That's the fact.
For a couple hours, I guess. These are with these? Better get these.
I've had a big weekend.
Did I have a big weekend? No, I was busy. It was a little bit of fun, a little bit of good stuff. Helped out a little bit with the memorial service here. That was well attended, you know, such a nice day.
My son, the fucking road grader.
That doesn't sound like fun.
Well, you got to see some country.
Yeah.
Same country you saw last time you ran that route, right?
How did the roads work up? Was there moisture there or was?
You know, by last night, day before Friday, what day is it? Sunday. They actually, these days was working really good.
Morning.
And then by last night, you could see they were firm. Drying out. It should
Fun to
be.
see you go over.
I was thinking to myself, just like you were saying, where is everybody at?
Yeah.
Rain Thursday night.
Just like snowfall.
Do you have a copy?
And no wheels were turning Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Sunday.
It's really
I
nice.
must say, I was thinking.
Morning.
How are you, Pat?
Good. I just got things today and I'll be out of here. Got fuel quotes for the month of June.
They down?
You give that back to me.
For the county, it might be down a little. No, it was $2.49 for number 2 diesel and $2.55 for ethanol from CHS. And Biggs was $2.46 for diesel fuel and $2.79 for ethanol.
Two pieces of big
So,
bread.
What was ethanol at CHS?
240.
2.55.
You did out there.
And it's $2.79 for Biggs, so, 2.46 for Biggs for the diesel, and CHS has the ethanol for $2.55.
Right.
So, someone make a motion for that. That's just for the small things.
Motion by Carlson to accept low bidders from each of those. For a second, by Zempel. All in favor, signify by saying aye. Aye. Motion carries.
Mr. On this subject, I know when the jail's talking about getting that tank, but I think it was gonna be only a single wall tank.
Yep.
When it comes to bidding, I suppose we'll have to think about whether we wanna do that with highway bid, or is he gonna do it on his own, or, you know, whatever, because, you know, I have 1,000 gallons over there. You know, if you guys are gonna be,
I guess I would just.
there's no way that I can do it when I don't know how much they're going through, but I mean, otherwise, he can bid it out too, you know, the same way.
Like that.
I don't know.
How much does their truck hold, you know, like 1,600 gallons or something like that, or?
Well, on these, you can,
Well,
these
you-
are just the small trucks.
Right.
They have, like 4 to 6 tanks on them. They usually have 2 to 6, yeah, they usually have 100,000 gallons.
Okay.
But I don't know for sure all that.
All right, well,
A lot of times when they have different gases in them, you know, they have to either reload for.
Yeah, I know
You know,
that.
not just all ethanol, sometimes they have premium in one tank, and you know, you don't always get it that way.
Well, maybe when he gets his tank, you guys can get together and
Yeah.
with the,
Kind of figure it out.
see, just to
We
see
gotta
if it
bring
makes
some
more
gravel
sense.
over there, but yeah, they gotta get some
Nice
stuff.
package, and get it all done in one.
Yeah, if you can,
job.
but like I say, he won't know what level their tanks are at, or, you know, or
And the other
It's
thing
just the
would be
kind of
is
thing where
just
they-
to raise this to 2,000 gallons instead of 1,000, and that price would be good for both of us.
That's right,
what I'm saying.
could you enjoy
Because you're not
that?
gonna always, you know, do this.
would it make sense every time he fills yours, just go top off his?
Yeah,
Yeah.
but like Pat just said, 2,000, cause
Sure.
your day, then,
If
you
you
might
go
only use.
2,000, you might not go to 2,000, depending on how much they use, but I'm sure they're gonna go through that.
Yeah, they'll go through, yeah.
They'll go through more because they're not gonna, well, they're gonna be doing less than mine, so then I would be doing less.
Yeah.
Still, that always comes out in the wash, so. Just wanted food for thought for that, I guess, you figure out that. The bridge on 33, I know Don talked to me on the phone. We're waiting for him to put the yellow object markers in the corner, see, they're just stickers now where they go inside of a square piece on the metal, on the ends of the guardrail. And it was raining on Thursday and they got everything done, but he couldn't get them to stick, so they're coming back today. I would be surprised if they don't get them on today, but I mean, otherwise I'm gonna be opening the bridge by tomorrow. We're having a meeting with the contractor today because we've got some things to go over with gravel and extra digging out dirt and all kinds of different things, so we're trying to get that taken care of. And then come up with a solution of, you know, who knows what from this and that. But they should be here this next couple of days to get the silk curtains out, regardless whether they do and regardless whether they get the seating done. I will open it as soon as we get the bridge out, so we can throw the signs down, we can go through there, so.
Someone told me they thought people were driving over.
Oh, they're driving around, I can see the tracks, and I finally drove across it for the first time myself, just so I could.
Yeah.
Because all the signs are up yet. So we're doing good on there.
Will your girls make a courtesy call of people that live in that area and tell them bridge is open for passage?
Well, I'm sure they'll know it in 5 minutes after the signs go down.
Yeah, no point in being
Phone call.
good neighbors about the whole thing.
Yeah, they're all chomping at the bit, I know that.
Yeah, I have the 11 Duskies, I don't know the other ones down the road very well, I know, what's her name's by the township road there.
Meyer, well, again,
We got
Spigler's
Myers,
and,
no, we got the Spiglers, that's what's on the corner, right?
I can drive by and talk to them,
Is that just-
there's just like 4 or 5 houses right there,
Yeah,
that's all.
that one is gonna be open, so. That road room, they called me about that, they were supposed to deliver it today, but they had to wait on some issues with the carbides and some stuff that has to show up. So they said Monday or Tuesday of next week.
This is that groomer?
Yeah, Monday, Tuesday next week. So that's, was pretty much on time to be coming this week. We're just going over some more of the potholes and then we'll start paving this week. So get most of them, the bigger potholes done. With the, you know, the Bobcat, if you will, it's going around.
County Road 4 down there that goes to Schmidt's Landing. Is that on the rotation here for?
It's on a grinding is what it should be on rotation. I haven't been down there for 2 weeks, but it's just a goddamn mess. And I don't wanna spend $30,000 on that road, or $60,000 on that road. It's every year. I gotta do something.
Was there heavy truck traffic on there this spring?
Yes, they come from the south, from Grant County, and they pound the heck off it every spring. And we never ever get anybody down there to get any tickets. Same way with my gravel on 18. They pound that through, they get through them soft spots. Every year they're out there pounding them.
Is that going
And
down
it's got
to,
here.
down to where they,
On that south end of 18, you know where that slough be right?
yeah, but I mean, this is going right in the Smith's Landing, is that when they put all them campers in, is that where all this is happening?
You know, most of that on 4 South, that's all from truck traffic and stuff.
Oh, south, yeah, this guy called today now, Ken Carl, right down from 109
yeah.
down.
No wonder you were.
See, we got a culvert, I wanna replace that culvert when we get a chance. I got it located. And once I get that culvert down, I'm gonna patch Smith's Landing Road and to go to the lake. That's the main thing, because they're really wanting that patched up there, which I'm going to
Do you
do.
wanna call this guy, or do you want somebody else to? He just called, really nice, didn't
Yep.
wanna know what's
Tell
going
them,
on.
I got this culvert in the making of you first, so I gotta coordinate that with people coming on lake, it's gonna be kinda hard. Because we're gonna
One
tear
way-
that up.
only
with a
one way
culvert.
in and out.
It's only one way in and out. So I got it located, and I gotta go check on my located, and I wanna get rid of that, get a new one put in, and then we're gonna patch over that.
He was really nice and just wanted to know what.
Yeah.
Because the potholes are coming back in the middle again, and it's awful, like, that Schmidt's line, you know, I've been going south
But
for
I know what you
3
mean.
miles.
On the south, 109 going south, they got all them semis coming down.
Yeah, it's, I mean, I'm gonna have to patch that, then I got less patching for all these other main roads, you know, and it's like, that's 3 miles, but only 2 people live around.
Did you see the amount of damage they did to that wind energy, those two projects for Calumet County?
Yeah.
$11.5 million.
Yeah, he's been fighting with him for over a month and a half. to get
Yeah,
that
sounds like they're willing to pay it
Sounds
now.
like they're gonna pay.
Yeah, and then set aside some money in case, but $11.5 million.
Kerwin and I have been working on it for 3 weeks to get the 2 miles down of ours. We haven't heard back.
No, it's kinda
They're
interesting.
supposed to call me the end of the week last week, they'll come back. We have 2 miles of whatever they want to do.
Well, what did we have, $40,000 bonds or?
Well, 40,000 wouldn't even come.
Well, it wouldn't go far, I mean.
So, yeah.
Yeah, I can't imagine it'd be Nick on that.
If we had to go out and do it ourselves, we'd take the 40,000 and cover most of it, but we, business.
No, we need to make them do it, absolutely.
So they haven't got back to us on that, so
Yeah.
that's,
I'm sure they'll make it miserable.
otherwise, yeah,
Well,
that
they
guy's real.
promised a lot when they was building it.
Yeah.
I'll call this guy when I get back to the office and, about that, and we'll get that going, and that stuff going south, I don't know how we're gonna do that, we're gonna have to redig all that up.
Okay, before coming out of the valley, Pat, will you fix that all up real nice?
Yeah.
On that curve with all it is, what's causing them big holes now?
That's undermining on that box culvert.
You've seen it there. I wonder if the guys put something up there or whatever, I've had a few calls.
Well, they're calling, but if they, it's just in the clear zone, out on the outside.
Yeah, it's on
not
the-
doing anything right now. What happened is, years ago, they added on again, you know, on the outside of the box culverts with, and what we do is the frost moves it, now the material's falling down. What we gotta do is we're gonna dig that out, and then we gotta lay, some, either some kind of tin sheeting or something to get that void filled. We're gonna have to dig both sides. I just haven't got to that.
Couple flags or something,
And
just,
then we did have flags on and they went away, but yeah, I mean, the delineators are on. I don't know what
yeah, I just,
people are
it
worried about, but they're still got delineators.
looked really nice when you did it last year, Jesus, winter now.
See, it all disappears again because of that void, but we got delineators on there, so I don't know why people, when they see the hole, they don't wanna call, but they do.
And then, the one we talked about way down there, where that guy was in there, you know, we marked it off.
Yeah.
When they did a
The
check.
one by talking me.
Yeah,
Yeah, we're gonna be, you know, eventually when we get to the call, we're gonna get that all built, so.
Do you know about that bridge that got damaged?
No, never heard of more, I'm just gotta come up with the estimate at around over $1,000, maybe 1,000 down that, I just don't have an itemizer.
Sure.
It's the sheriff yet, but
Okay.
that's all we're looking. Cause it's just that old pipe on there, and we'll have to cut the pipe, and we'll have to probably put, bridge plank for rails on there and stuff. And or else we'll have to get new pipe and re-weld it. We don't have a portable welder right now, so last time we had to do, we had to.
You do have a portable welder or you do not?
We have a generator, but the generator's not been enough to run our other.
that Ray Christensen down below Mount that does that, I mean, pretty reasonable, I mean, if you wanna give him a call.
Ray Christensen.
Yeah, I got a cell number.
It's-
Tony Miller too.
Yeah, I got Tony Miller out of
He's got-
Bell Valley, yeah, yeah.
You know Tony Miller?
Oh, I think I know him, yes, he's got a shop. over
Yeah,
down there.
way
Yeah, you want a phone number? I got a phone number for him if you want. He's,
You got a calendar from him?
Got a what?
calendar from him?
I get my oil changed down there, all I got's a little deal that says, call Tony when you need your oil changed.
Did you get an accident report on that bridge?
No, not yet. They were supposed to give it to me, but they haven't got it yet. The deputy was trying to finish it.
It's 605-881-7321.
I might be able to go to them and just get some pipe on that.
Yeah, he got all the material there too, so.
He does good.
It's got old concrete pillars on the ends, which is, it's old.
Yeah, it looked like an old bridge, right?
Yeah, it's old. It's just an old box cover, it ain't even bridge. It's
Oh,
just a
okay.
small box
I just saw
cover.
this stuff on the side look pretty
Yeah.
rudimentary.
It's pretty, it's got wood extensions.
Okay.
So, otherwise, that's all I have today, I guess.
Do you want to call me when the bridge opens up, and then I'll
Sure.
contact those neighbors and let them know?
That'd be great.
Yeah,
I'll do
okay.
that as soon as I can.
Okay,
All right,
perfect.
thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Pat.
You bet.
This, I want to revisit this. When I looked at this court attorney, his monthly salary's in there too.
Oh,
That's why
okay.
it's so huge.
Because that's,
So it was only court reporting attorney fees of $26.88.
Okay.
Oh, that 95 was their,
Oh, that,
Yeah, it's 9,000 regular.
yeah, 95.
Okay. And I found the job description for our nurse, it was 32 hours per week.
32 hours per week.
yeah, you're older to it.
And so this pay period, she had like 30 hours owed to that.
how did the other ones turn out? I see some of them got fairly high too, the deputies.
Well, some of the correctional officers maybe a little bit, but we're short. And so that, and the jail administrator was up a little bit.
I mean,
But then he's filling in for, the because
Yeah.
we're short.
He could come up there now, couldn't he?
You know, is it worth, you know, when you brought up our health insurance with Tyler last week, he said, well, it's the same damn health insurance. Is it worth pointing out to him that it is not? Because we did a side-by-side with them when that Paul came down for the union guys, and they said it's the same stuff, and we went in and looked at it, and like, at that time, we were probably like $350 deductible max, and they were at closer to the national average, was probably $1,500 deductible and a $6,000 max out of pocket. Well, that's substantially different from ours.
Oh, you damn
And
right.
maybe he just needs to be made aware of that, I don't know.
I think Greg told him you gotta pay so much, so you. I mean,
More like,
higher.
more like reminded of it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Because he knew damn well when he was hired what the benefits were.
yeah. So, I mean, he said, well, we had the same insurance company, well, it's the same in name only, not in
this
on
town is the
policy.
best on
Same
insurance.
insurance, but
Different policy.
we kind of.
Yeah, there you go.
But Roberts County kind of does a self-insuring.
Right, yep,
We only have to pay so much out of our pockets.
exactly, yeah.
The employee's expense is $600.
Yeah.
No other than maybe a co-pay for an office visit or
Yeah,
something.
your office.
But you have something major done,
It's
$600.
six-
No co-insurance, no-
Right.
nothing else.
And I'll guarantee you that Grant County will be closer to the 6,000 out of pocket max.
Dennis August meetings. Those
If
are the
you- Bill got
two of
that
them
high.
that I've gotten.
Okay,
They both did that, but-
so we could act on those, huh? You circulate them with the wind
Do you
and
want me to, get that information
so
from,
that,
from the auditors?
Well, I think the only thing is, I have the county back in 2016, but did county insurance was $722.78. But that doesn't tell me how much the employee has to pay. Our question would be, does the employee have to pay anything?
No, I don't think they did, but what they were adding that in, like $720 worth of health insurance, and ours is at $500. Well, it's just, if you have health insurance, it shouldn't be added to your, look like it's being added to your wages because they're spending it on you. But no, I don't think you have to get it unless you want to. I mean, I just
Yeah.
want him to realize that it's not the same policy.
Well, yeah, I mean, we all have different policies
Sure.
throughout the counties. It's,
Yeah.
Call him up, tell him we're ready.
Sheriff?
Is that okay, Chairman?
Yeah, okay.
We gotta go uptown.
You're going uptown?
You hungry for lunch or what?
Why is one paying 300 and the other's paying 350? And it looks like it's for the same retail on off sale malt beverage and South Dakota wine.
350, they pay $25 per lottery machine.
Oh, okay.
So, like Kenny Buck is a lot more because he's got, he's got more. And that's only during this renewal time for the malt beverage. The county charges $25 per lottery machine.
Okay.
So I contacted all that have not turned theirs in, except I.
Hey, Tyler, Don Carlson,
Yeah.
just, we're ready, whenever you're ready, if you got time to come up early, great, if you don't, that's fine too, just I'll give you a heads up.
I tried to call the number out there, I suppose I have to call later on in the evening or
I
something.
appreciate it. Yeah, yeah. Oh, okay, good enough then. All right, thanks, Tyler. He just returned from a call, he's gonna stop by, pick up his stuff and come back up here. He says connecting point is coming, they're gonna be at
That's
10:45.
what he told me this morning. I thought that they were going to let me know, but that's fine.
That's the deal that Janessa wanted to get involved in.
And that's what you got, right?
You good with those?
Yep, I say we do.
All right, up for consideration is the malt beverage applications for Sodak Shores and With the Wind Winery. Is there a motion to approve? Simple. Is there a second? Carlson.
Is that
Any
wine
discussion?
No.
All in favor, signify by saying aye.
I mean, if you like sweet wine, it's fine, but they sell a Merlot, which Merlot is a dry red wine, but theirs is sweet, so don't call it Merlot, call it something else, because it ain't Merlot.
It's sweet.
Most of the stuff is sweet, yeah.
And bitter is better, or, what? I mean,
I
guess.
like dry, I mean, some people don't care for dry, I like dry. And,
Dry, what's that mean then?
oh, I don't know.
Back in the day when I drink it, I didn't really care what it was, but it's been.
What he likes is an empty bottle, that's what his.
But Annie Green Springs doesn't count.
Seriously, what is a dry then? I've heard the word, but.
Well, I mean, I don't know when you kind of puckers up your mouth sometimes.
Oh, kind of
But, I mean, it's just the opposite of sweet.
So I'll give one to Tyler. I'll give one to Tyler when he comes in. I gave one to Dylan. I just got that in the
Do you know anything about this, what this is about, or? High-speed chase, unknown yet. He's a Rapid City attorney. can write stuff on it. You can read it and at the end, you don't know what the hell he said. Came from this high-speed chase, ended up in front of this guy's house, and somehow they got involved and got hurt.
I don't understand, yeah.
Executive branch deal, I would assume we're talking about personnel.
Yeah, I mean, I assume Tyler was involved in that. One of the deputies. Yeah, you're right.
It's a legal.
Dispatchers and jailers already got $41,000 for overtime. Jason, how long did it take to get business cards printed up?
How long does it take?
Yeah.
A couple days. Once you decided.
Placed an order last Monday.
What's that?
Placed an order last Monday with your gal in Rossville.
Yeah.
Have you seen anything yet of it, or
What is it for, who's it for?
for John Dig?
They're done.
They're done? Okay, I'll stop by. Thank you.
They're already sitting in the
Said you could make
shop.
a
All right, I'll pick them up on the way out of here then.
I was gonna tell you that too, I forgot.
Yeah, I was gonna ask you and I forgot it.
John down there.
Luckily I remembered it.
So you ordered yours and then David ordered some too, so we were all confused.
They don't
Who did?
Is it,
numbered on them.
who's the one that does the tractors?
Oh, Dave did.
Yeah, Dave did order some.
Oh,
His tractor, so we were all confused.
Oh, okay, no, this
I thought I
is,
wrote up a job ticket for his and then you ordered yours. and
so I just, mine's just for a 7-year-old kid, so.
Yeah.
I saw this guy with his briefcase out, it made me think of it.
Like that one you got behind you?
Yeah, he's got a little
Mine's getting.
folder with a pad in it and a calculator, and he thinks he's pretty hot stuff, so I ordered him some business cards.
Said you could make copies, but you haven't.
Yeah, they're sitting over there, we did them right away as soon as they were,
Okay.
they were in the middle of last week.
Big.
All right, no problem, I'll stop by.
Yeah, business card,
Mine's getting
fast,
kind of
fast
big.
job.
Yeah, that's what I didn't think it was, so we were gonna dress it together.
Would you like to have one of them laminated or not? Okay, this way, I guess then. Don said no.
No.
That way then. I'm not gonna.
It's, yeah. how do you hold it?
I didn't even know I had one in my drawer, so I guess I don't need it. I do have one, well, maybe I gave it away. Nope, here
I
it is.
make a copy, make it nice to have a copy, but I like that one where I can.
Yeah, they don't fold up too well when you laminate them. Is this one you're talking about?
No, that's a map of South Dakota.
No, that's a different one, no.
We're looking for Roberts County, not South Dakota. You're looking at the Black Hill back.
This is just Roberts County.
Where is that?
Roberts County, South
I mean,
Dakota.
on the back it's
Is there
old.
a date on it or something?
2017, mine.
See it down there, it gives that road then down there in the corner in Lockwood, it goes County Road 4, way over on the side there.
Holy crap.
What's in that?
I thought I was getting low on paper clips, but they're all back in the back part of the drawer. I got enough here to start selling them now. You wanna buy some?
Pretty return sales tax.
I got a tax exemption on them. We went out to that golf course in Britain.
I was there last summer.
Did you eat out there?
Mm-hmm.
Pretty good food, some said, right?
Yeah, it's okay, yeah.
Yeah, we're gonna run out there one of these days and have some lunch.
Yeah, it's a nice place.
Yeah. You went to Mavericks on, in Watertown at the docks there. And for an extra $2, they bring a steak out raw on this big old stone that's 550 degrees. Then you sear it on both sides, and you cut off a piece, you just lay it on and cook it to your way you like it. It's kind of fun, yeah, different, you know.
Oh, wow.
Good food, reasonably priced.
Stone stays hot during the
Oh,
whole
God,
time,
it stays
huh?
hot, yeah. They said it'll stay hot like forever. Wow. But I forget how long she said they put them in the oven, like 5 or 6 hours, something like that, get them up to temperature.
Wow.
She wasn't sure what kind of rock it was, but
Too darn.
pretty cool, just kind of something a little bit different, you know.
Sure.
Do they have the warning signs on, so you're not supposed to touch the plate and get burned and all that?
No, they didn't say that.
Or put it in your lap, you know,
Yeah,
start swimming.
yeah. Oh, that'll be what'll happen, yeah. That'll be what'll happen.
Somebody's had too much wine and.
Then they wouldn't feel it.
Put
their elbow on it until the next day.
Until the next day, and then they'll, hey Albert,
You
how
can
are
see
you?
all that hail.
Hey,
You're showing us that,
from where?
right there by Russell.
When?
When was
Oh,
this?
did you get hail?
Really?
Was that
We
right?
got,
Look at that.
we got some rain here. and-
6 inches, he said.
I think
Wow.
Is that the day we got just a little hail?
Yeah, about 6 inches.
Yeah.
Jesus.
Oh my God.
I know I saw the roads over in, oh, holy.
It's like it's snow, cold as that
Are you sure that
We
wasn't?
went to Alice here in Watertown. Get up and said, well, yeah, blah, 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 and double cheeseburger and hamburger. And what is, we don't have any hamburgers.
Was that by Graceville?
I said, what is it right now? Have any hamburgers? Our equipment's down.
Okay.
I just thought, that was the one in Fargo, week before that, they didn't have any chocolate shakes. I don't know if it's
And then.
COVID related, you know, they don't have
Graceville,
materials or what, but
didn't it?
pretty hard, you can't get a hamburger now.
No, that hurt your garden or the crops?
We're not gonna have
Cool
sun
down
policy.
that fast, we're gonna corn.
Prices of all wages.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Nothing was up yet with it.
Huh. Just a bad crop.
And if you had your tomatoes in the garden, you had them in too early.
Wow. I just, well, people spit them all over anyhow.
Oh, sure. Oh, I'm sure, yeah.
This is baseball now.
Yeah.
I just get them on snooze
Oh,
only.
my. At least it
You
didn't
ever watch
break down
you
this.
ever watch professionals? I mean, they're just constantly spitting all over the dugouts.
Nice evening.
Yeah, pretty rude.
here.
We had 3 Spanish-speaking only guests at our house from Thursday night to Monday morning.
A lot of smiling now. Just say something, smile.
It seems like they talk, so fast.
So you learned a little bit, huh?
Huh?
Did you learn a little bit? Hola.
Yeah.
That's about it.
Once, that was my room number. One time I went to Mexico, I don't even know what it means, 1111, I think. Once. Want a towel? Once, room number. Crazy.
It's interesting.
Talking about tough, I was in Russia one time, we sold a piece of equipment, or a bunch of equipment, it got damaged, so we were looking at damaging. So, I speak English only, I'm working with Frenchmen who don't speak English, and then a Russian interpreter in between, so I say what I say to you,
Yeah.
you're Russian, you speak it to another Russian guy, who then speaks it to a French guy. Wow. It was all technical stuff, it's just about impossible, I mean, it took forever to get anything said, and most of the time you just went, yeah. That's it.
Yeah. Andy had gone to Russia one time with his first girlfriend from a foreign country. It's interesting. And then her parents were at our house for Thanksgiving dinner, and they didn't like some of this stuff.
Go home then, right?
Maybe it's not nothing.
No.
Hey, there.
Morning. The connecting point team, they're outside already.
Okay.
And I think Janessa wanted to be here for them, so I told them I was gonna get started, done, so they could get you guys going. Is Tom gone today?
Yes.
Yeah. Yep.
Here's the daily count. We're sitting at 65 after the long weekend. So you can see the count over on the right-hand side there. We're kind of staying at that high 60s number. One thing I wanted to make you aware of is that the contracts with all of our surrounding counties, they were starting to come due, so we've since sent those out. And we increased the rate for non-government facilities from $80 to $90.
Okay.
So your Dade counties, Marshall County, Olds, Grant County. It seems, it seems that, and I was just talking with Don about this morning, jails across the state are closing down hand over fist. So the other thing that James and I talked about over the last couple of days is expanding our reach a little bit with who we're offering contracts with. So we kind of set a cutoff as about the Missouri River going out that far, but there are a lot of places that are having to transport people around, and there's less and less jails in between, and the ones that are
Did you raise the tribe one little bit too then, or?
My understanding with theirs is a federal contract, and there's statutes that prevent, set that rate. So, but that was news to me, so we're kind of looking into that.
I don't think that's true. I mean, we've negotiated, I was early on negotiating with them. But the one thing we do have at the tribe is, originally we weren't able to take our tribal prisoners to IHS, and they apparently don't have to allow us to do that. But with the reduced rate, we were able to take the prisoners, and we saved us a ton of money. One year we spent over $100,000 on medical and dental, and prescriptions.
That one might be one that we might have to look at and decide whether or not that would be worth it.
I think they're at 70 right now, and so they're getting a special.
Because they've worked really well with us on on the contract health stuff too.
Yeah.
That Joanne's been working with them quite a bit with, so, you know, anything that IHS can't do, they've been covering to have done over at CP, so that's been huge help too, because a lot of those bills that get billed right here, I've taken back to the nurse, and she's called out and it's been covered, you know.
Yeah, and if they, you know, maybe when they get their own jail too, maybe they'll allow us to continue to bring those prisoners out there. So I guess I wouldn't want to irritate them for $5 a prisoner a day or
I
something
was
like
gonna
that.
say, we talked, I thought last week said another 5 this year, but I mean, I thought.
Yeah, well, last we were at 65, then we went to 70. I think we're still at 70, if I'm not mistaken.
That's right.
The BIA is involved in that.
They came out early on, and yeah. But I don't know if there's any statutes that mandated we charge a certain dollar amount, but,
It wouldn't surprise me, because I know another entity, you know, there, it's federal BIA too, and
Yeah.
it's capped here, you can't, you know,
and that may be, well, I bet they might be even higher than what we charge some other people, maybe, I don't know. I know the marshals, we were able to get more than the marshals early on, so. But I guess I'm comfortable where it's at, just with the chance that we might be able to continue to take them out there.
Yes. Other than that, I just have, I have one employee issue to talk about that would probably be best in an executive session.
There a motion for executive session by Carlson, is there a second by Johnston? All in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Motion carries.
Didn't want that.
We're not voting, guys.
Greg is from the Summit area, so he probably could be a commissioner someday.
I live in Covington now. Just south, just 15 miles south of Summit.
Someday you'll move back home.
My dad's in Summit, so. Okay, folks, I believe Tyler and Janessa visited with you a few weeks ago about the Connect Care IT services we provide. Let's say, a big thank you for the county program that you're on with Connect Care and the recent server, so very much appreciated with all the business. So, along with, we had to put that short order, had to throw that new server in at the sheriff's department, which wasn't quite expected, but we're able to get it done for you. Is what we've been talking on Connect Care. This program here is our full IT support. What we do is we do a lot of back-end work on that. So we do for this monthly fee of $935. We would take care of the servers, the 3 virtual servers, the firewall, there's a main switch, and about 16 PCs on that list there. What we do is we have eyes on that system basically every day, all month long, other than weekends. We're a Monday through Friday shop. But we have eyes on it. We're continuously doing updates and work. Even though you don't think anything's happening, we're actually, all of our Connect Care customers, we're on there and we're doing all of the updates when needed, keeping tabs. If there's alerts, red flags go up, we get on it, we take care of any issues. We have 3 levels of issues: critical, medium, and low priority. So critical would be a network down so everybody cannot work. Medium would be something, hiccuping for that day, we gotta get on it, take it care of. And low priority may be like a slow computer or something to that effect that's been going on for months, and the end user just finally wants it fixed because it's getting slow. So, out of those 3 levels, we're actually averaging critical would be priority almost instantaneous, where we're getting online or either putting someone in a vehicle to get to that customer site and resolve it. We're averaging about 30 to 40 minutes now per call on everything. A lot of them are closer to 20, even on medium. So we're basically getting on that, taking care of it. Full priority support. You're within 75 miles, so any on-site calls that we need to come on, the travel and mileage is included. Roberts County Courthouse offices are covered, we're doing that. Sheriff's Department, every time we gotta do something or come up, there's probably $130 mileage charge plus $90 travel seat time. So that goes away. All labor costs on any issues where we need to do any service work on anything, those go away. The renewals for the firewall servers or certain updates we do, annual renewals, we actually cover that, so that services on any updates or renewals are covered. New equipment, I've been trying to get the Sheriff's Department off and on for 3 or 4 years maybe, trying to get you on this program. So any new equipment that needs to be replaced that's under the current contract, we cover all services labor on that. For instance, your server now that we're getting for the county here, there's about $4,000 of labor services that we're taking care of as part of that program. So it's paying itself back to you considerably on a server. If we could have had the previous server on, that would have, those labor expenses would have been covered, but we didn't. We want to get on it. You've got a lot of PCs. There's a lot of these 16 PCs. How many are 5 years old? A lot of. So,
well, there's one that's.
And we're band-aiding them now, is what we're doing. We're ordering some RAM.
Yeah.
We're trying to band-aid all these computers. Well, we need to get those replaced also. So if you're on this program, typical, on a domain network like they have, Lake County has, typical installation is about $430. That's just for the on-site labor, then we gotta add the mileage and travel to get up here. So we'll say $500, $600 a computer to get a new computer installed on a network. So if you go with this, when we start replacing computers, all we have to do is buy the PC hardware, and if it needs like an Office, like a Word, Excel, that type of application, you just have to buy it and have it installed. So moving forward, there's a lot of things that will get replaced, and then we'll cover all labor services for that. The only thing that's not covered would be parts. So if a computer that's out of warranty, the hard drive crashes, you have to spend the $70. You have to buy the part. And then if there's anything not covered, if we have to do something where we want to implement a new solution that's not on the existing contract, we do charge for labor services on that. So if we have to add 2 new computers, hire another deputy or something, we have to get a new computer that's not covered on this, we do charge for the labor, but then we onboard you onto the program, and after that, it's covered, so. We do a fabulous job. We've got a team dedicated to our Connect Care customers. We've got Dan Durkee. He's our managed services. He'd be our manager. He also does securities. So the guy that's taking care of your Connect Care, he's also taking care of the security portion on the security side. That's what's driving it mostly nowadays on this type of service. As I talked about updates, we make sure that servers are patched, latest firmware on them. We make sure your firewall's working. We make sure if there's a new firmware for your firewall gets released, you folks get that latest firmware. If we're not on this, that stuff's just sitting there idle and it's riding and it's degrading as time goes by. And you've heard all the horror stories about ransomware attacks. This is what we're trying to prevent, is attacks on your systems, into your server. You know, if they got into that, hacked into that, ransomwared it, and you're stuck. I mean, they have your data, they have all your inmate data, everything for the county. That'd be kind of scary. You either pay the ransom or you have a connecting point. We back up that server, we come in and resolve that. For instance, a typical ransomware attack, we deal with them quite a bit because we are a regional company, but we do cover ransomware attacks under Connect Care. A typical attack, just the labor-wise, to get a server back up and running from a ransomware attack, if we got good backups, is at least a couple $1,000 minimum. And even though that attack may not be our fault, you know, we're not responsible for that. Somebody clicks on something, they get attacked, we are taking care of that for the customer. Because what you're doing is hiring a team of 20 people, like I mentioned, Dan Durkee. We've got Bob Frisky, who works remotely out of Badger. We've got 3 dispatch gals that are watching that system constantly. Then from there, you have access to all of our company engineers and techs. So 18 to 20 engineers and techs from Watertown, Sioux Falls, Bismarck, Grand Forks, and Hutchinson. So I mean, we're running a big footprint. You know, we're covering 5 or 6 states. So with this program, you don't have to wait for somebody from like Watertown to help you out. If we have an engineer available that can remote in and take care of an issue or do an update, you might get somebody from Bismarck, you might get somebody from Sioux Falls, Grand Forks, etc., or Watertown. Most cases on site, we're going to put somebody in a car. If we got to get somebody, they're probably going to come out of Watertown, right? With Connect Care, if here's the scenario: if we have one engineer and the server goes down, the Sheriff's Department with the 911, and they're not on Connect Care, and Don's new server crashes at the same time, and you guys are on Connect Care, that one engineer is going to go help Don because you're on Connect Care. And the sheriff will say, well, we will be there, but it might be later today, or if we can't get this one going, it might be tomorrow. So we actually pull in, and we do pull engineers too. We have done that in the past. So if we have a customer on Connect Care and they're working on you know, they're all great customers, but they're just pay-as-you-go type deal, and they're working on that, we've actually pulled support staff off those calls and sent them over to one of our Connect Care customers. Say, apologize, we're sorry, but this is a priority. You know, that it has happened. But with running the company regionally with 18, 20 support staff, we don't see that much anymore. That was in an early stage, just like 3 or 4 years ago. But now we've got enough personnel around that to usually deal with all the issues. Do you have any questions on this program? Because I want you folks to understand what you're getting. And I think the Sheriff's Department, with what they do for the county, it's a priority, you know, to keep things up and running and keep it working. Years ago, Ronnie Lee, I don't know if you call, do you call at night?
Yeah.
Yeah, so Ronnie Lee, I mean, he had my cell phone, and Ronnie Lee would call me at 30 at night sometimes, like, hey, I got a computer up, and I was like, okay, Ronnie Lee, I'll let him know tomorrow morning, you know. I'll let him know, but it does happen. We do have, it helps a little bit, we do have a help desk now that we didn't have that when you folks signed up with the county, but we do have a help desk from, right now it's 6 in the morning to 6 at night. And that help desk is manned by Connection Point staff. We assign them hours to do that, so it might be somebody in Watertown, Sioux Falls, the other locations, so we assign someone to be on call. Yeah, I think we have a couple on hand for calls, so if it would come in, you come in at 6 in the morning, you can place a call and get a hold of a technician from Connection Point, that we have that pane of glass window, we can see, we know everything what the sheriff's department has, so we can do a lot of service work in-house on those hours. A lot of other companies do have help desk, but from what my experience is, if they say they have a help desk on this type of a program, it's a farmed out help desk. Might be like a help desk company out of East Coast somewhere, might be overseas. They don't know who you are as a customer. They don't know who you are. They're sitting in a cubicle and they're trying to do triage, and that's just basic PC level support. If they can't fix something basic, it's going to get sent back to the supporting company. So, but we actually do this in-house, so you'll actually talk to a live person, Watertown, Sioux Falls, Bismarck, Grand Forks, Hutchinson. So that's a nice little benefit that we recently added, I think within probably about a month or so, I believe. We added that as an extra option for support. So, like I say, we're very happy about it. We're very proud of what we're doing for our customers in this program. I think it's a great solution. Get more and more counties are signing up for it. You know, adding more counties, more sheriff's departments are adding on. Some counties do the whole county. Some do the county and the sheriff separate. It just depends on when they sign up. If they start from scratch, they just everybody. But like the sheriff's department, we'd like to keep that separate because there's that separation around the two separate contracts. So that one, only thing we could do, I know you talked about help any way we could on monetary value. I did talk to Dan Berkey. He said per device charge, we're pretty competitive right now. We really can't go down on that unless we're looking at 200 or 300 devices, you know. Larger scale, we can't adjust that, but he did waive the onboarding fee. Onboarding fee is equal to the first month. So he said we would waive that, so it's $935 that we are waiving to get you onboarded. Because we have to go in, we have to install agents, we have to install software on the machines. A lot of documentation, we have to do a lot of the documentation on the back end just to get you set up on this program. Usually takes a couple, 2-3 days typically to get everything set up and running. So we are waiving that if you were to proceed.
I appreciate that very much.
But I know it's been tough. I think our support staff it seems like it's tough when it's call as you go. You know, we're so far behind.
Well, and not only that, you're paying for them, but you're also paying, you know, I have to be there to sit there and wait, so you're paying for me too to be there, when this would be more hands-off for me and more on them.
Right now, Don, just the courthouse, and did we sign up state's attorneys a little while back? And landfill and highway have nothing to do with this, nor would they.
They're on D-ware.
That different, yeah, that's what I thought so.
Not saying that we couldn't add the highway and landfill. If they have D-ware as their application, we act on, if you add those, we act as like a liaison, so if they do have problems, all we need to be able to call that D-ware, the support company, we work as a liaison to help resolve issues. So there's no, they can hop on too if they see a need. I know I talked to the highway a while ago, and I don't think they don't use us, so even on the hardware side of things, they don't, but they can always be added on too if you feel the need.
But I'd just feel more secure with our system, you know, that we kind of have somebody watching over us. Because there isn't anybody here that is an IT person and can constantly watch that. I mean, we have other jobs to do, so.
I'm Janessa, I mean, she has other jobs to do too, and she does a lot of takes time to keep things up and running the best you can.
She has plenty to do.
Yeah,
Doing-
and it's, you kind of look at it as, you're not really buying a service, I like to say you're actually hiring an IT team as, you're kind of, because what you're doing is kind of employing Connecting Point to be your IT team, which is a lot cheaper than trying to hire somebody at $60,000 a year for an IT person to take care of it dedicated, because then you have all the intangibles, vacation, sick leave, insurance, et cetera, et cetera. So, this is a 36-month agreement on this. We haven't had anybody pull out, that none of my customers have pulled out, but it is a 36-month agreement. And I do like to call it an agreement because that's what it is. We've worked with the counties since 1980, for 40 years, with the counties. So it's a very good clientele base with us. And in the event that you would need to cancel, maybe for budgetary reasons, something happens in a year and a half or 2 years, we can work with you. They do have on the service level agreement, there's like a 2-month penalty. So if you call today and say, I want to quit now, we will charge you 2 months. But if you call and say, hey, we're running into budget problems, great, I'll go talk to Dan. So Dan, running into budget problems, I can't keep this rolling. We'll maybe say, okay, we'll run you 2 months, that 2-month penalty. We'll support you 2 more months, and then we'll have an end date here. We kind of work with you. So we're pretty flexible, pretty easygoing company. Like I said, I was from Summit, so most of us at Connecting Point are small town people, born and raised here. So we're very easy to work with. So.
Say worst case scenario hit where there was a hack and all the units were shut down. There's 16 units out there plus the server. Is that right?
Yep.
Now the backup that occurs, nightly?
Yes.
That's off-site.
Yeah.
So the server and those 16 units are locked. How do they go about unlocking them, or do they need to be replaced, or what's involved with that?
Say usually a ransomware attack is caused by somebody behind the keyboard. That's your biggest security risk on any network, is the people using the computer. So if they accidentally get spoofed, because they're really good, they're very good, you get spoofed and you click on something, sends it out, attacks the server, shuts it down, held for ransom. Now, we actually come in and rebuild the server operating system, because as long as you have a good backup, because we have a local NAS, Sheriff's Department, there's a 2-bay drive, we back up that, and then also local, I think there's a USB hard drive hooked to that too now?
There's one.
There's one, so we got local, we got a local NAS, we should have a USB hard drive plugged to that does a copy job and a site. So 3 layers of backup there. So we would like to, we come in, redo the server, and those backups, we'll just re-image it, and you'll be back up and running within a day or so, day and a half, depending. We get you back up and running as quick as possible. We did have one manufacturing firm a couple of years ago that's on this program. They signed up about 2 months before, then they got a ransomware attack on a Friday. That scenario was an outside company they work with, brought a laptop in, plugged it in on the network. That laptop had ransomware. They had 5 or 6 servers getting knocked out. And our engineers are unconnected. So here's a scenario that happened. We got them on site and we started the process of rebuilding everything. We worked Friday, later into the evening, Saturday, Sunday, and by Monday mid-afternoon, they were pretty much up and running. So we actually put in, if that would happen with the county, there would probably be some late hours for our engineers to keep folks back up and running.
So this colonial pipeline thing that just happened that everybody's aware of, if they would have had a system similar to what you guys are offering, they wouldn't have had to pay their $27 million.
They have their own IT. I mean, that company is so large, they probably have, who knows, they maybe have 10, 15, 20 engineers. That company has their IT department, okay? And it happens, so they ended up paying the ransom to get up and running quicker. probably because they're so massive.
So I mean, they probably could have worked it out on their own, they just were time sensitive.
I would assume it would be time sensitive to get everything running, they paid what, 4 or 5 million, something
I
like
think,
that?
I thought it was 27
25,
million.
I think.
21. Anyways, they paid that to get up and running quicker, they gave them the key, unlocked it, they're up and running. Because you gotta figure down production times costing them dollars, having their IT department work 24 hours a day, probably rebuilding everything for how long that may take, so yeah, that was probably a time issue. A lot of people don't pay the ransom as long as we got good backups. You just go ahead and rebuild the server, what the device is, you're up and running, as long as you got backups. So, and then they do, I mean, you will get your data back in a ransomware attack because even though it's kind of a criminal activity, they actually police themselves. So, you know, someone's out there holding ransom data, people send the money, and they don't give you the key, word will get out that, well, why should I pay the ransom if I'm not gonna get my data back? So they kind of police themselves. You know, if they get one bad egg that's doing that, they kind of, I don't know how they do it. How do they do that organized activity? They get paid a visit, I think. They get paid a visit by some of the hierarchy of the criminals. Yeah.
Call that honor amongst thieves, yeah.
Yeah, exactly, that's kind of what it is. So you will typically get your data back, but you will have to pay a chunk of change, so. And they didn't supply with the codes.
Being you're adding more customers all the time, are you adding staff as well?
Yes, we are actually. We've added, Watertown alone, we've added a new engineer recently, Nate, probably a month ago. Nate, Sioux Falls, we're hiring another one. We added a new engineer probably 4 or 5 months ago up in Grand Forks, so we got a couple there. So we moved to kind of another engineer, more of a tech engineer kind of in between, over to Hutchinson. So yeah, we're adding staff as demand need rises, you know, because I've added quite a few counties recently. And it's been that they've been asking me for it, you know, I really haven't been hunting it. You know, I do mention it, but a lot of it is actually where we're getting references and people are hearing about it. So I go pay a visit, have a little discussion with the commissioners. So it's been going over quite well, and we do have, typically within a couple times a year, we do actually have meetings. So Dan Durkee will actually travel down to Watertown for a day or two, and he goes to Sioux Falls to the other locations, but we actually try and set up reviews where we can actually get him on premise to review. Sometimes it's a phone call, you know, maybe just a conference call, see how we're doing. But replies I've been getting the last couple of years, everyone's been extremely happy with our services department, the promptness. They like the fact that they know if they're going to spend on IT a given month, it sets a budget, so there's no this, like the server, you know, some of these things happen, you know, a ransomware attack might come and you got to deal with that, so that kind of levels all those expenses out, so you know what you're going to be spending on a given month for IT support. Takes the guesswork out of it. And I've done a lot of them. I haven't done the sheriff's department, but I've done a lot of them. And what they've paid our labor services over the last 5 years and what their monthly budget might be, was pretty darn close. I did one for Cottington, it was really close. I just did one with Spake County, it was really close. One thing is this locks you in too, because our rates have gone up over the last few years. You know, right now we're at, say, general PC level support, we're at $110 an hour. Engineering level, like having Lee Swanson up, is $155 an hour, and I've heard discussions that we might actually look at bumping it up again. So, kind of helps lock in your cost, because we know things always go up. We try and keep it to a minimum, you know. Try and keep it to a minimum. We run our company as conservative as possible. I mean, we don't have a fleet of new vehicles, you know. Everything's pretty, keep things within reason. You know, I'm driving a 2011 Traverse that's connecting Point Road, and we buy new. So we try and keep our costs down as much as possible.
Yeah.
And we still need to keep in business, but if, you know, though I said if we can at least pay our light bill so we can turn the light on, you know, that's your goal, you know. Try and keep things within reason, you know. Me as a salesperson, I guess, from Summit, I have 24 years. I started in '88 at Connecting Point, 1988. Worked in service for 24 years before I moved into sales, and I had an engineer basically said, you're a salesman, you're not supposed to have a conscience. I do. You know, my corporate sales manager up in Bismarck, he says, why don't you sell the Elite Book 850s for $1,400 a piece? How can you sell these 450s? I says, well, last 4 or 5 years, they haven't broke much. I says, and I can give them to the customer for $850. And it's the same processor, same RAM, same hardware.
Yeah.
So, you know, I look out for my customers on a budget standpoint. Maybe that's, you know, maybe that's a fault of mine at times, but I don't give them anything less. You know, I sell them exactly what they need. I don't undersell them, I don't oversell, so it's my conscience coming into play. So, and this, I do believe in, this is a very good program, so. And I think some of the other offices can attest to that for what we've done so far here, and I think the sheriff's department would use it quite a bit, actually quite a bit more.
Yeah, I think your main reception lady, Michelle, her and I know each other pretty well now.
Yeah, they do.
They've called me a
And,
lot.
yeah,
I recognize your
and
voice.
we still need someone like Janessa to at least isolate a problem.
Yeah.
If the flag don't go up in our system, we still need that person on premise, we still need that point of contact. I know she's got some hours after hours and things like that, but maybe her and someone else during the day, but we still need that point of contact that's got, you know, she's got pretty good IT knowledge on, okay, this is what's happening on this, she can at least relay that to Michelle or dispatch gal, or it might be Stephanie, whoever she calls into, it might be Stephanie Sioux Falls. But from there, they will open up a ticket and it'll get pushed out on a priority level, critical, medium, or low. And low, our maximum response time on the low one is 4 hours. We do not like to go past 4 hours, even on the same day. So it gives you an idea between that critical is almost priority, so it's almost instantaneous, and then low priority maximum, we're shooting for 4 hours on a call back and try and get it resolved.
The 36
New installs, you get priority on new installs, you know. So if we have a lot of PCs to install, and the sheriff's department needs a couple of PCs installed, they go up on the install list priority, so they get them first, quicker.
And we talked about working towards replacing these aged
Yeah, we kind of
units.
talked about doing a plan where we can figure out which ones are, you know, the most critical ones that need to be
Yeah.
replaced,
That's-
and then try to figure it out over some budget periods rather than
Mhm.
a huge hit. But,
That's usually what we do too, is the consulting part of it. So when we pull everything up on the dashboard, we see manufacture dates and stuff, Dan will actually go to me and say, hey, you know, here's 3 or 4 machines that are 6 years old. Target them, you know, give Tyler and Janessa a call and say, hey, here's, you know, we should look at replacing these. Like when the firewall needs to be replaced, we'll give you like a 6-month heads up, or maybe it'll be next year, you know, so hey, this needing to be replaced. Sonic Wall's gonna end of life that model. So here's some time, let's get it in the budget, I'll send you a quote ahead of time so you guys can plan for it.
What would you guess the lifetime of a typical PC is these days? I mean,
5 years.
5 years is it?
5 years kind of on everything actually in the IT world. Servers, we run them, yours was pretty old, the one you had. But we run servers where like, we put a 5-year care back hardware warranty on it. We like to look at replacing them at 5 years. 6 years old, it's a good idea. 7 years old, we start getting nervous on a server for our customer's sake. 7 years old, because you got a device that's been running 365 days a week for 7 years. And there's the electronics start to degrade.
Sure.
If they have spinning hard drives, and you got motors and bearings and spinning disks, they're gonna crash. New servers now have solid states though, So it's just a flash chip, so the reliability should go quite up on the drives themselves because of a solid state flash code. We put those in the servers now because the price has gone down, so we're able to put solid states in the servers, and the performance it gets in increases quite a bit. So.
And I think even our dispatch piece is like 11 years old. So, and that's pretty much all of them are kind of sitting at that 10, 11-year mark for all the computers here. So that's why we're really struggling. They won't even, you can't click on anything, you can't get them to open up programs. Tyler can kind of vouch for that. He's wanted to break his computer a few times.
Yeah, that's frustrating.
Pulling up a Word document is hard. It takes you 10 minutes.
So yeah, in speed, yeah, new PCs, you're gonna have 8 gig RAM, they're gonna have faster processors, they're gonna have solid state hard drives on them. So the production, actually, the people that are using them all day should, they should be a little quicker and speedier. When you open up applications and sort of different things, it should speed them up a little bit instead of waiting. So. It does get a little frustrating on that part of it. So, any other questions, folks? I hope
You probably covered it, but the 36-month, that fee is locked in for that duration? Is
Yeah,
that right?
the only thing that might change, like it says, if you add a PC
Yeah, you're right.
or we take something away, we adjust monthly.
Okay,
So if we add a PCs, for instance, are $30.
okay.
So if we add a PC, it might go up $30, or if there's a need to remove one that they don't need on contract anymore, they go down. So we adjust per device on a monthly basis. So this is current count of what we came in with now.
Okay.
Can you review the mileage thing? In here it says mileage not included.
That's over 75 miles.
Okay.
So, sorry about that. Yes, we do on our Connect Care right now from our service centers, Watertown, Sioux Falls, Bismarck, Grand Forks, and Hutchinson. We have a 75-mile radius we're covering. So outside of 75 miles. So I got a lot of customers that are 100, 180 miles from the service center. So we go out 75 miles, then we build that difference back and forth.
So even though Watertown, Bismarck, and Heck, they can't come, but somebody from Bismarck, so
Yeah,
we
that was my next.
still don't have to pay?
No, because it's
I
based
mean,
out of
that's-
Watertown. No, it's based out of Watertown.
Okay.
So yeah, say if there's no service support people available, and we have to get somebody coming, there'll probably be somebody driving up to Sioux Falls
Hutchinson,
or Bismarck. but
we
no.
still cover it? No.
Yeah, because you're within our service line. The only ones that get bit are the ones outside, so we got these islands connecting points on the outside of these islands. There's some mileage and traffic charge, so. And that's it, and it's not cheap either, to put an engineer in a car and send them on their way, so adds up. And I've got customers out west forever, I just signed up Lyman County, for instance, distance. Huh? Oh, yeah, well, with the Ultra software that the counties use, we're Bison, we're way out west all over the place.
They get hung pretty good then.
Huh?
They get hung pretty good then.
A lot of it can be done remotely, though. A lot of the stuff nowadays we can remote in and take control of the system, unless it dies. And if it dies, we need to get somebody there, then we go.
No, I have no questions, I guess. I know that Dawn speaks very highly of the program she's got, and if they took it away, she'd probably quit today, so.
It's getting close, though.
It is.
Not to try to take it away, so I quit.
No, we have,
No one wants to see you go.
yeah, most of our counties that are on this, even the counties that aren't on the program, they're such a big part of Connecting Point. We take pride in that. We provide them with the Ultra software. They're doing a big revision. There's a complete rewrite on the whole program. I think the director portion is supposed to be done hopefully July, maybe August. So that's why we need this new server in, so we can get the director, get them moved up to it and get them started. And then I think the auditor and treasurer, if anyone's on registered deeds, but then they will be on probably end of the year. I'm thinking they're forecasting the end of the year, and it's gonna be a complete rewrite of the whole software, so it's actually gonna be very, very, very good. It's gonna be a good solution, hopefully make it a lot easier for everyone to do their job. take care of the county's data and keep it going.
Sounds very positive. Thanks for coming in
Yep. Glad it
and
went a little
working
short,
with us.
Yeah, I noticed that when you walked, I was gonna give him some crap this morning when you walked in.
Yellow as the day, huh?
Apparently.
So,
So Tyler, Janessa, do you have any questions for him? I don't know. So let's post business on
Appreciate
it.
it, yeah.
yeah, absolutely, thank you, coming up.
If you need anything at all, give Janessa or you folks can call me, Don, Janessa, know how to get a hold of me. But, I can discuss anything if you think of anything after the fact. Approval of it is this quote to be signed and scanned and emailed back to me. And then there's a service level agreement form that we generate off the quote, and that'll get sent to Tyler and Janessa to have them sign. It's just the agreement outlining the program. And then once that's done, then we can start bringing it into our system.
If we approve it today, how soon does it go into effect?
If it's approved today, I'll get the quote, I'll send the service level agreement to get signed. Once I get that back, we'll onboard it. I would say maybe within a week or so, I'm guessing, hopefully.
Okay.
I'd say
All right.
we're kind of right now, we're pretty good right now on staff and everything, so we should be able to get that onboarded.
Okay.
I would like to somewhere see that's over 75 miles included in it.
Okay. Yeah.
So there is no question.
I will have to look on the service level agreement. I
If
think
it's on that,
it might
that's
be
fine.
on, it might be on, I'll make sure though.
You know,
I'll make sure that's on.
Good point.
and I don't know if it's necessary to the onboarding, that would wait, if we need to have,
That was in there.
you know, that's on there, so, on this thing, so,
Okay.
yeah, my issue would be the 75.
Yeah, it's been a while since I looked at one, I'll have to look at that one. It usually gets issued and sent off, and then our operations gals add that to the account. So, yeah, I'll look it over and see if that's in there.
Okay,
Who should I let know on that? For that?
done.
Yeah, sure.
Okay. I can sure do that.
We'll add it and initial it.
Yeah. I say, already did a record, I think we can adjust everything.
I'm just like, gotta see it in writing.
Yeah, no, that's fine.
So there isn't questions down the line.
Because what are we, from our store, I think, from our store, go through Watertown and over, I think it's 61 miles. I always think it's like 50 miles for some reason in my mind, but, yeah, it's actually like 60 or 61 from our front door to here, I think, so it comes like this.
At 80 miles an hour, it feels like 50 miles.
Maybe, yeah. I always go up today, I go up interstate because I had to get here on time, but now on the way back, I always take old 81.
That's a
Really
pain
scenic.
Huh?
That's a pain now.
And I usually take old 81 and
Yeah.
wander down, you know, get on Summit.
See your hometown.
Huh?
See your hometown, man.
Yeah, I get up there. My dad lives up there, so I get up there enough. He's 75, so.
Oh,
Is that Don?
Don, yeah.
Don, you're doing, okay.
Yeah, because how was Bonnie, Bonnie,
Lonnie was one of our teachers.
one of your teachers when I was one
Wow.
of Don's teachers, yeah?
She didn't teach me, but she was in our school system.
She tried just,
Huh?
she tried to teach you, but it just didn't work.
No,
She didn't stand.
I was older, she was.
Oh, okay. I didn't want to get in that age thing with you, but
But
okay.
she's still a friend.
No, so, yeah, no, I get up there off and on, so. Okay, well, that's it then, folks, so.
I think so. Appreciate you coming up.
it. Yes, thank you for everything, very much appreciated. We'll take care of you. We'll take care of you, so. Very good.
very good.
Perfect.
Thank you.
Good day to move back down then,
Yeah,
before it gets too hot.
I'll find a few other stops to make yet, so.
All right, appreciate it. Thanks, guys.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you. See you. See you later.
Can you crack open just a little bit? You're obviously sold on the program.
Yeah, with the amount of times that I call them, because everything's done so server based, I don't have access to up, it's so locked up tight, I can't do anything. So there's a lot of times that I'm calling, they're having to remote in, I'm sitting there as well as they're, remoted in or having to come on site. I think if you add it up in a year's time, it can be paid for a year in the sheriff's office, pretty easy.
I don't think I've opened a receipt from them yet that hasn't been $900 or more in that open on what seemed like a weekly, if not every other week basis.
But that's because, you're dealing with 16 old computers that.
Yeah, we need to get that in the budget next year to start replacing some of those,
Yeah.
Well, and that's what they'll be able to help with too, is they can kind of identify for us, hey,
the worst
they
ones.
might be able to say, hey, you might need to do 4 for sure this year, or 5 for sure this year.
And what's nice with that too is you get somebody that you can consult and say, okay, this is what this computer is used for. It's, just say like the nurse's computer, she only uses Word and this one program. Well, then we might not need to get a higher gigabyte. We might be able to go on the cheaper end or, something like that where we're able to kind of work with them and try to budget it down, which they've been great on that as far as trying to figure out what exactly we need and not going over. Even with our new software and stuff, they look and they're like, well, minimum is this, we don't want to completely max everything out, so we're gonna go here instead of going high end, which I think that would be great for there, especially with as old as the equipment is, because I know there was a lot of things that I've been seeing 2004 on. So that stuff is very, very old for some of those computers that's gonna cost us an arm and a leg to try to replace that stuff.
Well, it comes out to 11.2 per year, you couldn't begin to get IT support 24, well,
You think
Monday
if you
through
hired
Friday.
somebody there for an IT person,
To me, it looks like a deal, a really good deal, so. To expedite the process, couldn't we just strike the knot for mileage included initially?
I think we need the 75 miles.
But yeah, on the final deal. Yeah. But they're looking for a signature in this return, right?
Yeah, and then they can get the agreement drafted up and make sure that they put the 70 miles in the weight onboarding fee.
I'm a little disappointed in one thing.
What's that?
We had to ask, it being we're existing customer, if there was a discount. That $935 one-time fee. I mean, I just kind of like, with all the money we spend with them.
Yeah, and I think the main reason they do this is just because it's two completely separate buildings and the amount of work that they have to do to actually get you onboarded. They have to send multiple texts, they have to do all the programming, get it all set up and get it running. So, it's gonna cost them a decent amount for them to come and do it. So I'm sure they're still a business and they're gonna.
But I'm just like,
Well,
I'm always looking for that discount.
Oh, yeah, I know.
Before we bring in the treasurer's department not too long or something like that, and we asked for a discount, it was a pretty absolute no. So, they gotta have a lot of things.
Yeah, I think we need this.
But I do too, yeah, I think you do.
I make a motion.
Motion by Johnson to approve the agreement.
Connecting point.
Okay, very good. There's a second by Simple. Is there further discussion on the subject?
Leaving up to you guys.
Can you find any grant money?
Nothing about that crap.
Can you find any grant money, Vanessa? Probably not cover this, maybe for that hardware though, in the next, maybe find some way.
Definitely, yeah.
Sweet.
And they're still looking into that 911 budget to see if they have extra funding available for that too.
You bring it up, so I'll be after you.
Okay, done deal, huh?
We need a vote. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Motion carries. We had a discussion about the dispatch contract just a little while ago, and we're going to present that to the city council at their June meeting to get the ink on the paper for that too, so. We've been billing them on a month-by-month basis. Ready to go under contract for that, so. Anything else for the dispatch law enforcement?
No.
Thanks for all you're doing, what you do out there.
Absolutely.
Are you going to sign that?
If I get a clean copy, mine's scribbled on, then I'll strike that.
I wrote mine in 36 months, and if that's, maybe we can have this
I
one.
think Don's got
I've got
it.
everything on.
I bet you he have a clean copy of it this afternoon if we ask for one.
Yeah, because I,
Thanks, guys.
Do you want me, are you gonna email it to him or should
I
you want
can
me?
scan it in and email it, and then I'll get the agreement sent over, and I can get that to Tyler.
So you're gonna email it to Greg, okay?
Good.
That was it?
Before you cut it off, you want.
Yep, I will definitely do that.
Good.
I'll take a copy of this and give it to you.
I mean, it sounded awful good anyway, and I don't know nothing about it, but
Today's day and age, I don't see they can be without some kind of support like that, honestly.
It's one of the newest forms of insurance that on your business policy is.
Oh, really?
Is breach. Oh, breaches, yeah.
Okay.
I mean, it's, our crooks are looking for an easy buck, so.
Yeah, they just,
I'm waiting to find out when you go to Watertown with your phone, what if they can figure it out.
yeah, I've got to talk to somebody about that.
I mean, Watertown, you know, I don't know much about this one, but Watertown's a big place.
Yeah, I either just go to an Apple store too, I guess. I think there's one in Sioux Falls, I don't know if there's one in the other place closer. But the reason to go to Sioux Falls, I guess.
Your motion to pay bills?
See that? Yeah.
There's a second to that. Don, thanks. All in favor, signify by saying aye.
Alright.
Motion carries. Is there any update on our wind tower tax revenue at all coming through on that?
No, the only thing I do have is what Day County gets, but I'm not real sure how many.
It's either spinning now, so
Mm-hmm.
Have we got
revenue going someplace.
Well, you drove by there and,
Anything on there?
it's been Friday night or something, you know, where they have their little encampment. They must have 50 pickup trucks there, where all their people be driving around, just all kinds of other equipment scattered all over, but I never knew they had so many bosses.
Is that in the Summit area, or was
Oh,
that?
It's just past, south of some of the ways, I guess.
I know they-
Oh, that, yeah, okay.
Yeah, they put up a building,
This is
right?
what Day County revenue is.
Okay.
Was it getting loud in Carrington?
So I'm
Oh, yeah.
thinking, this is what they received, you know, all the way through.
Well, how much did they get?
Well, 2021, $119,853.25.
Is that paid to the state and state reimburses the?
I'm not sure, I asked
Probably
Carly,
those pigs.
I didn't know if we actually do a tax notice on them
We need to
sometime.
find that out, because if we don't have them, do the right paperwork, we'd be losing out.
Yeah, but it'll be for next year, yes. But I don't know, and, because I asked Carly the question, and I didn't know if that's something that comes from the state. Because there's, you know, like centrally assessed, that type of thing.
They've already been paid for 2021, so we should have ours.
Yeah, but our things are just up. They're not even complete yet, are they? Our towers?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, they've been
Are
spinning
all of
for,
them complete?
well, the one that got burned, they're rebuilding that one.
Okay, but it wasn't the beginning of the year. I mean, we're,
We're behind Dayton.
yeah,
But
I
somebody
mean,
should have been monitoring, I mean, if they went online such and such a date, and I don't know if the assessor's office, are they involved in that at all?
I can ask Sherry.
Sure.
We need to have, you know,
Or else I will ask
the
out
audit.
at the Department of Revenue.
Okay, or Jay County or wherever. I
So
mean,
they only have 66 towers, and this county only gets $120,000 bucks. I thought we were gonna get about 110, we only had like 16.
I don't, like I said, I don't know how those wind towers,
Hey, this is be a totally different company than we were probably doing, isn't it?
think so.
Yeah, they didn't get it since 2011.
Groton School District gets a nice little shot there.
Everybody gets a big chunk.
And we take all the heat for it,
Yeah,
that's
we
what
get-
gets me, it's,
Yeah, we don't.
look what them townships, they're tripling what they,
Oh, yeah, yeah. And then the state gets the lion's share and they don't do anything.
What else do we have, folks?
Do we have to do anything with liquor licenses and the way they do that?
We approved
We'll
those.
do the two of them, right? Yeah. So, time to go home.
Dylan and I gave Dylan the population figures, the new law that's going to go into effect July 1st is that businesses can have a package liquor license, which means you can walk into LTR and I can buy a bottle of whiskey. That's something that's news coming up. So I've given Dylan the figures of the population of the county, and it goes according to that. Cheetahs would not be eligible, so it's gotta be outside of the 3-mile area of the boundaries of the city. Buffalo Lanes would not be eligible because they're up 2.1 miles.
So Cheetah right now can sell off-sale beer, but you can't sell off-sale whiskey or, okay. Wine or whiskey, just beer's all you can sell.
Yeah,
Okay.
any of those can do that, so.
Yeah, okay.
But this is something special that, I mean, it's just going to, in effect, something that just the cities have.
Throw that one away.
Okay. And there'll be an additional fee for that, of course.
Yes, and that's what Jill and I will go over it, and then you guys will have to decide on a fee,
Okay.
and they'll have to apply for it.
Do you think there'll be a demand for that? Think down on the lakes, maybe?
I would think the lake would have,
Think
yeah,
so?
big, yeah.
It's a little extra revenue for them, I don't know how it all works.
You're probably gonna want it pretty bad, it's gonna be pretty expensive. You buy a jug out of a place like that.
Could be.
Anything else for us, Don?
No, I don't.
All right, is there a motion to adjourn? Fay, thank you. Is there a second by Carlson? All in favor, signify by saying aye. Aye. Motion carries.
Everybody so tired, I gotta say aye. Okay, shred this. Get my business card for the boy.
This live stream is brought to you by Dakota Pawn and Thrift for all your pawn needs.
John.
Countryside Inn, assisted living, memory care, and Rossum for
Pretty young.
your family
We got
as
a little
well.
notebook with the zipper.
First Savings Bank of Sisseton. Use our online banking to save you time. Still some service in Sisseton with Marathon Fuels. Tri-State Water in Sisseton for all your water needs. Water softeners and reverse osmosis right here in Sisseton. And of course, the Sisseton Courier, where we do more than the weekly newspaper. Thanks for watching and have a great day.